presiding over that sitting. We are here, but I would do good to actually get the names of political parties who have actually filed petition against the PDP. Almost all the local government were won by the PDP.
Yes.
So I will move from here to the registrar of that local government election tribunal to get details of the political parties that have actually filed their petition,
okay.
So that we'll keep abreast of the development from time to time.
All right. Thank you so much, Uchendu. I was going to ask how many, because you said it started some weeks back. So I was going to ask how many parties have been heard so far. But since you said, do you have any idea of how many has been heard so far?
No. I will just go to the registrar who will avail of that information. We will in our next bulletin.
Okay. Thank you so much, Uchendu, for keeping us updated on this.
Thank you, Bochi.
All right. Okay, so that was our correspondent Uchendu Ojowo, who is currently on ground, and he just shared details regards the current proceedings. The River State Local Government Election Petition Tribunal has commenced hearing of petitions from aggrieved political parties who participated in the just concluded April 17th election. And like you heard from our correspondent, it turns out that it's been on for some weeks now, but why most of us are just getting to know of this, will bring more details regards this particular story as it unfolds. So stay with us. Body District continues on Today 95.1 FM.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
My brother, my sister, papa, mama, and pikin. Corona, no big pass us. We go fight time, we go win. As long as we remember to always do the right thing. Wash your hands, love each other, we go win. Corona, na the virus, we the worry human being. He no get let go, but he dey waka from person to person. But we fit beat time, we fit stop time if we maintain good hygiene and practice social distancing. We go win. No shaking hands with your neighbor. Blow them a kiss from afar. Use soap and water to wage war. Let's show this thing who we are. We are special, we're courageous, we are awesome human beings. We dey super, we get power, we can conquer anything. If we hear word and obey laws and exercise discipline. Wash your hands, love each other, we go we know. If it be like say you know well, like it's something they do you, and you feel say, you believe say, you get to see they do you, and your body no grisogy, like it's something they do you. No let panic finish you, you go we know. Self-isolate for the sake of all the people that you love. Don't go around spreading rumors, 'cause fake news won't help anyone. You are special, you're courageous, you're a caged human being. You too much, oh, you get power, you can conquer anything. Only if you hear word and obey laws and exercise discipline. Wash your hands, love one another, we go we know. My brother, my sister, papa, mama, and pikin. COVID-19, no big pass we go fight and we go win. just as long as we remember to always do the right thing. Wash your hands, love each other. We go, we know.
Exactly. Wash your hands, love each other, and we will win the battle against COVID-19. Sadly, most persons feel that, we're done with COVID-19. We've gone past that stage. Nobody should talk about COVID-19. Some persons do not even know how many death has been recorded so far in Nigeria, in the world. We're just like, there's no point. Well, just so you know, the overall number of global coronavirus cases has surpassed the 172.9 million mark, while the death has increased to over 3.71 million. That's according to Johns Hopkins University. Welcome back. You're still on to Body District on Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. And yes, my name is Buchi Rafua. And like you already know, I'm sure most persons can tell what exactly we want to discuss from the kind of songs we play before we come back from our short break. Oh yes, we will be discussing coronavirus today, but most importantly, it's vaccination, especially within River State. And like I shared with you not too long ago, the cases for coronavirus globally has surpassed 172.9 million mark. That's according to Johns Hopkins University. As that's last Friday, the total number of cases stood at 172,910,966. The University Center for System Science and Engineering revealed in its last date. Now, the United States CSSE, and then comes second place is India. India right now, the novel coronavirus tally crossed the 28,574,350 mark. This happened as at last Thursday in India, according to Indian Health Ministry. And of course, you know that India has been grappling with this issue of coronavirus. There are lots of challenges currently in that country. Challenges with beds, challenges with what they call this thing. Sorry, what's the name of oxygen? Yeah, challenges with oxygen. Like there's a whole lot currently going on at India. Their hospitals are lacking a shortage of oxygen and beds and ICU facilities for coronavirus patients. And that's an update for India, but it's really challenging in that country currently. But for Nigeria, as of right now, confirmed cases is 166, according to NCDC, 166,982. And for now, the active cases, of course, according to NCDC, is 1,534. So far, we've had 163,331 discharge cases. Now, let me streamline it down to River State or some states within the South. I just pick Rivers, Edo, and Delta State. So for River State, the total number of cases that's been confirmed in the lab is 7,276. And then number of cases currently on admission in River State, it's 24. We have number of discharge cases at 7,151. And then so far in River State, we've recorded 101 deaths. In Edo State, it's 4,910 confirmed cases. We have a number of active cases currently in Edo State is just 2. And then the number of discharge cases is 4,724. And then number of deaths in Edo State, we have 185. For Delta State, 2,639 confirmed cases so far. We have current active cases in Delta State at 11. And then the number of discharge cases, 2,556. And then for the number of deaths so far in Delta State is at 72 so far. Now, that's where we would wrap it up with some of the statistics. But we have a doctor in the studio because, like I said earlier, we'll pay a bit more attention to vaccination within River State. We have Dr. Inwang Joseph Urang. He's the one in charge of immunization here in River State, the State Immunization Officer, River State. Good to have you on the program. Good afternoon to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
You are welcome. First off, have you been immunized? Have you been inoculated? Right? You said?
Taking my 2 doses.
Oh, both of them. That's interesting. So how's it like so far in River State? Because I understand that the immunization, the inoculation was made open to the general public, different from every other state in Nigeria, because other states paid priority to health workers, the frontline workers, and then aged old people. Why was River State different? Why was it open to everybody?
First, let me start with, have you been inoculated?
I plan on doing that very soon.
And you say, okay, you plan.
Yes.
When the
very
vaccine
soon.
gets finished.
No, you're here, so don't worry. I'm sure within the week I'll get inoculated. But go ahead. Why was River State different?
Well, the truth is, the way you've not been vaccinated, that's the way other persons have actually refused to come for vaccination.
Now, I didn't refuse. My case is completely different. I have my reasons, though.
I agree. Everyone has
We
a
all
reason.
have our reasons, right?
Yes, one reason or the other.
Okay.
Somehow. But
Okay.
for those of us that have been inoculated, we've not grown horns, we've not grown tails, we've not died, our genes have not changed, nothing has happened. We are still alive like every other person. So the people that are meant for this phase 1, the health workers, other frontline workers like you, the strategic leaders. So as the campaign was going on, we observed that these people in the front line, the people who call in quote frontline people, they were actually not coming. Do we allow the vaccines get to the expiration date and we discard them? No.
Does that include the healthcare workers?
That's what I'm saying.
What was the turnover?
Frontline. It was slow.
No, I'm not talking about the general frontline workers now. I'm looking at health.
General frontline workers, we even had more frontline workers coming more than the health workers.
Really? What was the why? Because they are the
Because
ones
of the myths, the stories
surrounding
that have been sold
the
on
vaccines.
social media, and you now see even health workers believing those stories that don't have scientific backing. Somebody will tell you that WHO or every other licensing organization will license a vaccine that will come and specifically kill Africans. And you as a health worker will believe it. Somebody will show you videos where somebody is jabbed and the person just falls and dies. And you believe that this thing that has been licensed can just kill people like that.
Now, it's a major challenge if health workers do not believe in
the
their
challenge.
science.
That is the challenge. So if you're in our position, what will you do? You will open it up for those who are willing to take.
That's why
As
it was
at
made
when we
open.
finished the first phase, that is the first campaign, that was from the 19th of March to the 28th of March. We were able to vaccinate about 30,000 persons in River State.
13,000. 30,000 persons.
In River State within that period. So as and when we opened up, as I'm talking to you now, we've gone past the 74,000 mark. So it means that the other persons, we are ready to even take the vaccines.
But it just needed some persons to be in front and take the vaccine.
And
If
people
you
have
grow
taken
it on,
and yes.
then we can now say, we told you that.
That yes, if you take this. Somebody very close to me told me, if you take this vaccine, you're going to change to another human being. And after 2 weeks, I did not change to another human being. The person came and took.
Oh, you're still the same.
Yeah, so people
You're
like
right.
you are actually waiting for us to change.
No. My case is completely different.
Everybody's case is different.
No, it's completely different. It's not. I wasn't waiting for anybody. I was just waiting for certain things to pass by. But what vaccine is being currently being administered within River State?
Well, we have the AstraZeneca vaccine.
Okay.
And of course, I don't like calling it AstraZeneca vaccine.
Okay.
Because if I produce a vaccine, can you please kindly give me the credit that I'm the one who produced the vaccine? I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
So it's an Oxford vaccine. Oxford gave the patent right to AstraZeneca and the Serum Institute of India to produce their vaccines. So when we are now calling it AstraZeneca is only just producing for Oxford. The technology behind the vaccine is Oxford.
Oh, well, some persons call it the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19
Well, anyway, I want to
vaccine.
combine it, but the truth is Oxford vaccine.
But that's what's being
That's what
currently
we're using,
administered
yes,
in
in
River State. I understand some weeks back, the federal government said they were going to put a halt to the vaccination, people being vaccinated with the AstraZeneca, because you have to take double dose to
the shelf life is usually short.
Is that-
Grant that we can reduce the duration up to 6 weeks and ensure that those who have taken the first dose take the second dose. But I'm sure that so many people that have taken the first dose, text messages have been sent to them, and 1 month after, they've not really presented themselves
For the second jab,
dose.
yeah.
So you are Nigerians, and it happens like that. So it's only when they feel, oh, I've not taken it, but they are going to give you a 12 weeks appointment for you to come back in August
for a second
for
dose.
a second dose.
So currently now, the people's major challenge is that they do not completely trust the vaccine because there's been a lot of theory around what it does to you, especially the blood clot that some persons complained of. Although it's been proven that it's just the number of persons that are exposed to that is very, very, very minimal compared to its positive side. And there's also been, I heard someone talking about brain damages because he took the vaccine. But we know that there are other mild side effects, not as tense as blood clots and brain issues and the rest of it that some persons claim. Now, in Nigeria, in Rivers State, you said some persons did not come forward to get the jab because they were scared of most of the stories we heard. But so far, has there been side effects for those that have been inoculated?
We call it adverse events following immunization.
Okay.
Now, adverse events following immunization is anything that happens after you have taken the vaccines. So if I am prone to having a blood clot and I take the vaccine, the first impression everybody will have is that it's related to the vaccine. So it's an adverse event following immunization.
Okay.
But will it be a coincidental one? Coincidental in the sense that whether I take the vaccine or I don't take the vaccine, I'm going to have this issue. That's coincidental. Just like you're just passing on the road and somehow you had an incident with somebody somehow, and the next day they say armed robbery occurred in that same area because coincidentally you are within that area.
At
The
that
next
point
thing
in
they now
time.
said you are part of the process. Something you don't know anything about. That's how sometimes the what do they call them? The vaccines could be innocent, but unfortunately you now have to blame the vaccine for it. Now there are genuinely issues associated with this COVID vaccine,
Okay.
which is the mild ones that we have seen even here in Rivers State. I didn't take anything. I refused to take paracetamol, even when I noticed pain at the injection site.
Why?
I just wanted to observe
Yourself.
the adverse events following immunization so that somebody will explain to me what happened. I had pains, I had some form of as if you're getting sick, that Malay feeling, as if you're sick.
Okay.
Some people complain, the major complaints were pain, fever, weakness, and all that. And it's transient. 2-3 days, the person is fine and you're normal. So that's exactly what we know that is associated with this COVID vaccine.
Okay.
Of course, there is no vaccine that is absolutely free of all adverse events. There is no one single one. Even the children you vaccinate every day. Have you not heard children crying all night?
Yeah,
It's not pain at injection
Sure.
site. It will be fever. Some will come down with fever. Some will even refuse to suck breast. Do you think they just decide not to suck breast?
just an adverse effect.
It's an
But so
adverse
far in
event.
River State now, for those that have been inoculated, what were the adverse effects?
That's what I'm telling you. The common
You
one
talked
is
about
fever, pain at
fever.
injection site, feeling weak, then some feeling sick, malaise. Those are the common things.
Do you take time to monitor them?
We do.
Like how long do they stay for monitoring?
No. At the injection site, we advise them to sit for 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
And so that you observe and see if you have any serious adverse events. But we still write the number of what we call the disease surveillance officer on the card that is issued to the person. So that in case you notice anything, you call that number. And of course, the number will respond to you. So that's just the basic thing. So all the stories of this one,
Misinformations.
a lot of misinformations. And social media can spread. Sure, 90% of the information they give that are false, they spread faster than the 10% information that are true. So you just see the likes that will come to the negative one. Put well thought and well arranged, scientifically backed message on social media. The highest you will see 5 likes. Then maybe one person will make comments.
Well,
they put
that's unfortunately
the stories that are not sensible.
Yeah.
You will see 20,000 likes.
1,000,001 likes. Well, unfortunately, that's where we are currently, and probably that's why we're having a lot of issues regards social media, Twitter, and the rest of it currently in the country.
They say they've banned it now. Your handle is off.
Oh, of course. No, we are law abiding.
Okay.
Yes, so we abide to every law that is being pushed across. But then, do you mind taking us through the process? Because, like you pointed out, misinformation is one of the core reasons we see hesitancy in taking this vaccine from people. Now, within Rivers State, some persons are already speculating that just maybe very soon this getting jabbed would be compulsory for you to assess certain things or to go to certain places and the rest of it. So far, I think it's been pushed in the United States for a particular organization, but in Nigeria, we haven't seen that happen so far. But then, do you mind walking us through the process? If at all we want to get vaccinated, first off, are we supposed to check our medical history or our current medical state to see if we are prone to certain things that just might clash with the vaccine, and then we just fall under, maybe we'll get blood clotted because we didn't pay more attention to our current health state? Or if we're currently taking certain drugs, if we need to stop, like what do we need to do first before we say we want to take the vaccine?
Well, the truth is, when people ask this kind of question, you just know that the person is looking for an excuse not to take the vaccine.
Well, yeah, it will sound like an excuse, but to them, they're just trying to stay safe.
Staying safe. COVID vaccine had minimal contraindication. In fact, those who even have the conditions are one of the people that had higher risk of acquiring COVID. So those are the people you want to protect. People with the heart diseases we're talking about, people with diabetes, people with hypertension, people with the kidney failures and all that. Because the body is already embattled. Like you went to a battle, came back, you are exhausted. The battle is still raging, another battle comes up. Another one comes up, and now COVID now joins the battle. The system will drain, the person will die. So they are higher risk. Those are people we want to now give, okay, you're already battling with hypertension. Let us allow you battle only hypertension. Let COVID not come and join his own problem. So when people start asking you, this drug I'm taking, will it not interfere with this? Will it not interfere with that? No scientific backing that said that all those medications will interfere. So people are just looking for reasons. So
no matter the medication you're on or your
majority of the medications they use in managing these issues don't actually have interference with the COVID vaccine. We are talking science.
Okay.
We're not just talking what people think. If you think and you're able to back it with science, that's fine.
Okay.
Makes a lot of sense. Now the issue of not allowing people to travel. Somebody has said this vaccine is 666. That time will come, the whole world, you must take the vaccine. There's microchip in it, there's this, there's that. They will control you from US, control you from India, and all that. Meanwhile, India is battling with its own COVID cases.
Currently.
So when will they sit down and be thinking of how to control everybody in the world? Those are issues that we need to look at critically. Yellow fever. Let's use yellow fever for example. If you want to travel to the UK, wouldn't you have a yellow card? Is that 666? It's a public health requirement. Nigeria is seen to be endemic for yellow fever. The owners of the other country, let's use England for instance, they're now saying, don't bring your yellow fever into our country. Thank God that we have vaccine for yellow fever. Please get vaccinated before you come into my country. You want to go to UK today, number one requirement is that you must be fully vaccinated for COVID. So no problem if you don't want to be vaccinated here. When you get there, you're going to be quarantined. And you stay in quarantine for 2 weeks,
And still get vaccinated.
You're going to pay for the cost of the quarantine, and you're going to be vaccinated.
All right. So, like I asked earlier, do you mind walking us through the process? We've clarified the pre-process, at least pre-inoculation.
Yeah.
Now that we've decided, okay, since medical history, current state of health doesn't count and it wouldn't interfere with the vaccine, what's the next step? What can we do? Where do we go to? Who do we call?
You don't need to even call anybody. Our health centers are open. Vaccination sites are so scattered across the state.
Now, where and where
All
are they?
the health centers in River State.
Well, some health centers in River State.
Okay, let me use the word busy health centers.
Okay.
All the busy health facilities in River State has a COVID vaccination spot.
Can you specify some communities within some local governments?
Which local government of interest? We have 23 local governments.
Mm-hmm.
So you want me to mention all?
If you can, fine. What? But if you can't, let's just give as
okay,
much as we can get.
Let's make it like this. All health facilities in all the local government headquarters has COVID vaccination sites. Then let's concentrate. We're in Port Harcourt and Obiakpo here. University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital is vaccinating. Ozoba is vaccinating. Rumukushi is vaccinating. Obio Cottage is vaccinating. Rumudomaya is vaccinating. Rumeme is vaccinating. I think I've mentioned about 6 in Obiakpo alone.
Okay.
Go to Port Harcourt, government house clinic is vaccinating. Civil servant clinic is vaccinating. The primary care board, there's a sick bay there is vaccinating. City council is vaccinating. Churchill is vaccinating. Mbunduku is vaccinating. Elekaya is vaccinating. Abluma is vaccinating.
All right.
Churchill is vaccinating.
All right.
But I mention more.
Oh, let's just leave it at that. Now,
across the states, all the local government headquarters, and at least a minimum of 4 other health centers, the big health centers that have traffic, because we don't want them to waste the vaccine. Because a vial of that vaccine is very expensive. So once you open one vial and you vaccinate only one person, you're going to waste 12 doses.
Okay.
Because you're not going to use that vaccine 6 hours after. So once it's 6 hours, because you take
exhaust.
You have to throw it away. Now see only 1-2 person and vaccinate. Let's say you vaccinate 2 persons, you're wasting 11 doses. I hope you understand it. So that's the reason why you actually cannot open all the small health facilities where only one person will go and the rest of the vaccines will be wasted.
All right. So with Nigeria that we know, some persons might want to make money out of this vaccination. Are we to pay any certain
302-548-36, what we call troubleshooting? Anywhere there is a problem, we will probably swing into action. So it's usually not using to book appointment, but of course we can.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Iwan Joseph. The much we can take on the Body District this afternoon. Just stay with us. You're still on to your Premium Talk Newsport radio station, Today 95.1 FM. The news update comes up shortly, and you're still on to Today's Hustle.
This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people. Radio has never been this good. Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today 95.1 FM. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
Protected casual sex. Don't throw your life or waste your life away. HIV/AIDS is real. Don't be a fool. We all have dreams to become something in life, but these dreams can become doomed if you're reckless with your life. Never have unsafe and unprotected casual sex. Don't throw your life or waste your life away. HIV/AIDS is real. Don't be a fool.
I am a proud Nigerian. I have been placed here by God for a time such as this.
At my back, I ain't coming back.
The degradation, challenges, and problems faced by Nigeria are the perfect backdrop for me to develop and utilize my God-given potential.
I will not complain. I will not criticize. Rather, I will use my skills, gifts, relationships,
and experience to find long-lasting and revolutionary solutions to the many challenges confronting Nigeria.
Gonna work hard in the city, so wish me well.
Nigeria will rise again.
Because I am here, I will leave this nation
A better place than I met it. I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth.
This was high, this little light of mine. I'm gonna
I will work to make Nigeria a praise on the earth. So help me God.
let me tell you how I got this far. And all the
This message is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
You don't have to be in government to serve. You don't have to hold a political office to change lives. It was Mahatma Gandhi that said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. So before you point out how the government has failed in service, ask yourself, are you being of service to your fellow Nigerian in your own little corner? As Mother Teresa puts it, unless life is lived serving others, it is not worth living at all. This message is powered by Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
This president's failed.
It's about the future of this country.
We're going to take it back. We're going to take it back.
You asked us to vote you into that position so you can bring about that
Solution.
So when you vote me, then you sleep.
Let me see if I can take another phone call. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
What makes a policeman to be able to feed is the gun he's holding. They use their gun to extort money from people.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
No longer news that we are truly the voice of the people.
Am I not a slave in Nigeria?
I refuse if you are. If you say you're
a slave. Let's not get to that now. So the Nigerian Rob is philosophical.
You spot the difference now?
Officer, take. Officer, give me number. No time. Ma, they match am, they go.
What? You bribing the officer of the law? You under arrest. Let me see your papers. You can go. They're in order. Drive safe, okay?
I don't understand though. No be the same country again. Officer reject bribe. They arrest me yesterday. That yesterday, I go do my papers. See as I pass now. I pass without fear. You too, make you do wetin dey right. For we country to better, it dey for we hand. If you like, do like say you no hear am. To give or to take bribe na offense.
Una don hear am, abi? You hear am too, abi? You hear am. You hear am well. They themselves, they hear am. Now the voice of the people. Now him bring this message give me. Today 95.1 FM. Now we be the voice of the people.
This is today's hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, the sordid, everything that has to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and they pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry all your salary and go and rent one room. Bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
You
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back with double efforts. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
Both on individual and the national rule, you have to cultivate your neighbor. If you don't, you are in trouble. If you could recall when I came, I went to Chad, I went to Niger, I went to the Cameroon. Look at what happened with Boko Haram. If we are not in the good relationship with Niger and Chad and Cameroon, Boko Haram would have done worse things to us than this. And you see, I'm carrying to Niger. I told you the border between us and Niger is 1,500 kilometers. And in Niger, you see, I spoke to one Frenchman, and I have to tell you, he spoke nonsense. I say, you people, in 1885, you sat down with a ruler and pencil and draw lines. I say, I have first cousins in Niger. There are Kanuris, there are Hausas, there are Fulani in Niger Republic. Just as there are Yorubas in Benin Republic and so on. You can't absolutely cut them off. But the rain, look at the plan, if you read the plan, how we are rehabilitating the rain. Niger, they have discovered oil too, as you know. And we don't want to allow them to go through Benin Republic. We want them to come through Nigeria. Both on individual and the national rule, you have to cultivate your neighbor. If you don't, you are in trouble. If you could recall when I came, I went to Chad, I went to Niger, I went to the Cameroon. Look at what happened with Boko Haram. If we are not in the good relationship with Niger and Chad and Cameroon, Boko Haram would have done worse things to us than this. And you see, I'm carrying to Niger. I told you the border between us and Niger is 1,500 kilometers. And in Niger, you see, I spoke to one Frenchman, and I have to tell you, he spoke nonsense. I say, you people, in 1885, you sat down with a ruler and pencil and draw lines. I say, I have first cousins in Niger. There are Kanuris, there are Hausas, there are Fulani in Niger Republic. Just as there are Yorubas in Benin.
Word insecurity in terms of, the insecurity meted upon ourselves by people from within the country and from the different regions. We've talked about different ways that we can try to mitigate all of these issues. And one of during the lives and properties of people from within here, and also mentioned the similarities in terms of cultures, languages, and even tribe. A lot of people found that particular part of the president's statement a bit disturbing, and that's why we're going to talk about it. When the president said, there are houses, there are Kanuris found also here in Nigeria as well as in Niger Republic, and making mention of this and also talking about the fact that the reason for the divide is as a result of colonization and, the white man coming in to put the boundaries between the people in Africa. And then, it made me wonder. I thought about one thing and one thing alone. Now, the president pretty much just pointed out something. Tribes and tribal unity, isn't it? Now, within the country, we've had different tribes and ethnicities in the country have, serious tension that could be galvanized into something very hazardous for the country and the continuity of the nation, Nigeria, in the long run, if nothing is done about it. Now, if you listen to the president, you might want to think, talking about insecurity and not also making mention of the fact that there must be some sort of sense of nationality. So should we be looking at bridging the gap between other countries because of the similarity of tribes that we have in the country with that other country in question? Or we should be looking at bridging the gap of disunity within the country amongst the different tribes in the country that feel as though they are marginalized or inferior to another tribe, so that we might see growth and development being brought into the country. Now, here's where I'm driving at, okay? Now, when you say that you must, if you listened to the whole interview, I can't play everything for you, but I just picked up something that we could use to drive the show. Now, when you say that, bridging this gap would draw development and economic ties with these other countries into Nigeria, or with Niger Republic into Nigeria, Benin Republic into Nigeria, You also want to consider the fact that we are yet to grow our own infrastructures, at least to a majority of the different sectors, make them up to standard so that we might be able to stand out as giants economically. And that in itself can drag investors and different collaboration or cooperation with other nations for Nigeria. I mean, isn't that one of the ways that we can draw investors or draw the attention of economic growth giants into the country, other than spending monies that we could have used for our own infrastructural growth for other countries, in the name of togetherness and building a one Africa? I mean, all of this in quotes is done in the name of building a togetherness or a together front for Nigeria and the neighboring or sub-Saharan African countries. So when we are talking about all of this, do we also consider the destabilization that would bring in the minds of all the ethnicities and all the tribes in the country? Does the president also consider whether or not they've been able to fix or bridge the gap that he's, extending hands to other countries within the country? Have we been able to bridge that gap for ourselves as a people? Have we been able to preach nationality amongst the different tribes in the country before we start to consider the other tribes from other countries that we share similar culture and similar lifestyle with? Now, doesn't this give credence to all of the conspiracy theories by some persons that the president is more about the tribe and the region that he is from than the togetherness or the unity of all fronts, tribes, ethnicities, and regions in the country? I mean, it's a bit sketchy. If you ask me, it's a bit sketchy. So are we now considering tribal similarities over nationality? You want to believe that as the president of the country, this statement should be directed most or even first of all to the different tribes and the different ethnicities and different regions within the country, so that we can first and foremost bridge the gap or fill in the space that has caused the divide within the country, so that we don't see destabilization as we go on as a people. You would first of all think that infrastructural development should first be geared towards internal development within the different regions before we start to extend the hand of brotherlyhood to other countries in the name of similarities in tribes. You would first of all expect that the problem of, the porous borders that we have is first of all checked. I mean, we cannot continue to let our borders lay open or porous in the name of the fact that some of these neighboring countries share the same culture, language, or even tribe as we do in the country. Because if you remember, the representatives once in a while tells us that the people who perpetrate the menace of insecurity are not even Nigerians. They're people coming in from Niger, they're people coming in from Chad, they're people coming in from Benin Republic. And then we're talking about fixing these issues first. First of all, considering the tribes and ethnic groups and regions within Nigeria before we extend a hand of togetherness. And I'm not saying that the president's notion about, building a united front for sub-Saharan African countries is a bad idea. No. But then, do we not think as a people that before we start to consider projects or activities and policies that would favor all other neighboring countries to Nigeria, we should first consider projects and policies that would first of all work for us inwardly as a people? We should first of all consider policies that would bridge the gap of that divide or that boundary, as he mentioned, that seem to be dividing the people within the country. So do you think that with the president's statement during the interview, during the interview today, somewhat points to the fact that we're yet to build a nationalistic idea, or we're yet to build a nationalistic front that would cement the issues or cement the bridges or the broken bricks within the tribes, regions, and ethnic groups in the country. But then we're more tribal, and tribal in the sense that we are more concerned about tribes from even outside the country, building that bridge between these tribes outside the country than the ones within that seem to be causing for the destabilization of the country. So should we be more tribalistic than nationalistic? And by that I mean, should we not be looking at inward growth first before we extend our hand of togetherness, unity, and growth to other African countries? Should our focus not be based generally on the regional growth of Nigeria? Should our focus not be based on the regional and the inward growth of Nigeria first before we extend our hand to other countries? And even though we share the same cultural and tribal similarities with some persons from outside the country, say Niger, Benin Republic, and even Chad, even though we share the same similarities with, one region sharing the same similarities as another area in other countries within Africa, even though we share those similarities, does that mean we should leave an open hand? First of all, considering that our borders are porous and we have little or no data documentation of who comes in and, the persons who come into the country to either start up a good livelihood or constitute nuisance in the society. We don't have good data for that. So why already encourage for us to start spreading our hands to other countries and looking at them as one when we are yet to fit within the country that would help? First of all, are they coming in to constitute nuisance? And if they are, have we been able to find them out and then either, drive them out or check the caliber of persons that come into the country? I mean, these are things that we should consider first off, if I'm thinking out loud. Based on everything that we've heard from the president in his interview, based on all that, doesn't this just fuel the criticisms of people and the conspiracies of people that we are more about other countries than about the growth of the people? We are more about extending brotherly and, big brother hands to other countries than doing the good and development that we want to drive to these countries inwardly. We are more about tribes and, the cultural similarities of these other countries than cementing the bridge of the differences between the tribes in the country. I mean, I think it would be highly hypocritical for us to say that, we should look at these people as brothers, also considering that the colonial masters are the ones that have caused the divide, when inwardly we're yet to fix the tension between the different tribes in the country. So should we be more tribalistic than nationalistic as a people, judging by what the president has said? Should we be thinking of fostering infrastructural development across different countries so that we can drive attention to Nigeria, or we should be focused on fixing our own infrastructures inwardly, and that in itself would drive attention of investors from the different African countries and even beyond to Nigeria? Let's listen to the...
If you could recall, when I came, I went to Chad, I went to Niger, I went to Cameroon. Look at what happened after this. And you see, I'm carrying to Niger. I told you the border between us and Niger is 1,500 kilometers. And in Niger, you see, I spoke to one Frenchman, and I have to tell you, he spoke nonsense. I say, you people in 1885, you sat down with ruler and pencil and draw lines. I say, I have first cousins in Niger. There are Kanuris, there are Hausas, there are Fulani in Niger Republic. Just as there are Yorubas in Benin Republic and so on. You can't absolutely cut them off. But the rain, look at the plan. If you read the plan, how we are rehabilitating the rain. Niger, they have discovered oil too, as you know. And we don't want to allow them to go through Benin Republic. We want them to come through Nigeria.
So that was the reaction of the president, and your guess is as good as mine. I mean, when he talked about Boko Haram and also the fact that if we do not build that, united front, they might actually attack the country even more. But then there are different ways that we can go about ensuring that the menace of Boko Haram is reduced to the barest minimum, and the influx of those people who are coming in to perpetrate this evil in the country, who are not Nigerians, are properly curtailed and managed. All we should do is boost the advancement of our border checks, right? Grow infrastructures within the country, and then Niger and every other country will have a reason to come in, partner, and invest in the country. And then when you talk about divide, when you talk about how we can build a united front, because I mean, these people are pretty much like us, only the fact that the colonial masters had come and, put the boundaries that divides us. What about inwardly? We're yet to figure out a way to bridge and unite the people so that they understand that they should be more Nigerian than even tribalistic or regional. So let me just open the phone lines now and let's get your own. What was your deduction from the statement of the president? Do you think that the statement was more tribally concerned than nationalistic, or do you think that we should extend that energy, the same energy that the president is using to talk about bridging the gap between other African countries and Nigeria? We should extend that energy into bridging the gap, or putting in efforts to bridge the gap between the different ethnic groups and regions in the country so that we can have a more united and stable Nigeria for growth and for the advancement. And then when we talk about porous, because from the statement you would also deduce that, yes, our borders are porous, and even the president understands it when he talks about the fact that the closeness or the proximity of these countries to Nigeria, if we do not handle the issues cordially, we might never see an end to Boko Haram and the influx of Boko Haram into the country. Don't you think that same energy should have been translated into fixing the borders and infrastructural development, fixing infrastructures in Nigeria? Other African countries will see a need to partner and collaborate with the country in the nearest future for economic growth and advancement for all countries in Africa generally. Let's get to hear from you now. 0817-0000951 or 0810-9510-951. Should we be more tribalistic than nationalistic, or vice versa? Should we be more concerned about African countries that share the same tribal similarities with us, or concerned about fixing the tribal differences here in the country and fixing the infrastructures here in the country, other than extending a hand of economic ties that we cannot afford yet confidently with other countries? 95.1 FM.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Based on the question you asked, this country has divided under Buhari more than any other president. And I don't think, let's just tell ourselves the truth, I don't think there is anything, the center cannot longer hold. When you see some people preaching one Nigeria, I begin to wonder. Somebody we hear that is in the East, let's tell ourselves the gospel truth. We don't have any relationship with somebody living in the far Futagel or North. You understand? We don't have any stone throw boundary. I blame the man that bring us together, Lord Lugard, that amalgamated us. The man just came all the way from Scotland, without consulting anybody.
So can we cement the bridge in the country at this point in time?
Now, to go for DNA test, let's know who is who. We should know who is your brother. You cannot tell me that I'm here suffering. I don't have roads. I don't have anything here. Mr. President, they are using my tithe paying money to go and build railway or construct this to speak is a close brother to me, like a northern person or like a south person, why are we deceiving ourselves? It's high time we probe the people, the person in us to rob, to know the relationship I have with him. We should not cover anything like that. How can building railway to Niger will bring development to me? Why not build a railway to Aba and those shoemakers? Build it in Onitsha, like you have something, your father will send something for you. If you know go Lagos, you can't play your system. Why can't they build all those things in Onitsha so that we benefit? You are going to start far away here. We should send them to DNA test. Let's know where they come from. I don't think that this is a
all right, Chris. So, Chris, we've gotten your point there. 95.1 FM.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm someone coming from Port Harcourt. You see, what is happening in Nigeria today, if you look at it properly, look at most of your callers, how they are sounding, very tribalistic, as if they come over here. Even we in River State, we don't want them to. If we cannot...
You don't want to?
We don't want people. So far as is concerned, we don't want any of them. If we cannot be in Nigeria, we don't want them.
Well, you can't speak for the whole of the state. You're not the spokesperson. 95.1 FM.
Hello, Lady West.
Good afternoon.
Blessed day to you.
Mr. Sam, you're welcome.
Yeah. Lady West, you see, sincerely, this has really debunked and put to shame many who came with some kind of rumors that the president was a man from Jubril, from Sudan, and what have you. You can even see from his speech that he even knows history and things that are going on more than some of these persons. They don't even have the idea of what is going on or the history of this nation, and that is why you see they come and speak ignorantly on the air. They haven't said that. You see, you will not know why we remain giant of Africa and why the Western world are afraid of us. Is the collaboration that we have with this African country.
But we haven't been able to build a strong front for the nation, a strong face in terms of unity or within. So how do we manage with people outside?
Lady West, even now, the president didn't talk about building anything there. He only talked about the relationship. He said there was no relationship, the fight between Boko Haram would have been fierce and wouldn't have been able to have success the way we have it now. He did not talk about building something there. And it was like, again, further throwing light that the oil they discover now is another way of building relationship with them. Okay, just imagine now that our refinery are not working and they have refinery. We are taking crude oil there to go and refine and pushing the effect when our refinery will come on board. Is that not a benefit? Not to talk about the agricultural aspect.
Okay.
But you see, lastly, you see, sincerely, you journalists, you people are not doing well. Yesterday, they launched the Nigeria-made cell phone. You people are not talking about it.
All right, Mr. Sam, thank you very much. 95.1 FM.
Hello, the West. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, my name is Reginald. I'm calling from Tegoti.
You're welcome, Reginald.
Yes, the West. See, today, at least, I can hear the president talk. Nigeria. Even though they not say that I am 100% impressed for what they say. But on the other hand, I am also happy that he was able to talk to the president of Nigeria. And certain questions were asked in his own way. For having said that, I would have liked the situation where the president will continue building that relationship, building that brotherliness from the home when the heart is on fire and somebody is getting around. I don't think that is the right thing to do. The president told me.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Wealth. How are you?
You're welcome, Gift. I'm fine.
Yeah, thank you, my sister.
Well, there's one thing that as time to time, some of us will come on air to solve people on the instead of you.
Hello?
The floor. Are you hearing me? Well,
All right, so your network is breaking, Gift.
can you hear me now?
Yes, go on.
I said some of us, well, I don't know if you've not been observing, of recent, instead of we to give our own opinions, we come on air insulting people instead of to give opinions. That is by design of just taking note of it so that you can stop people from doing that. It's unfair. Let me tell us, the president, the question was because of the rail that is heading from Nigeria to me.
All right, Gift, you might want to call us back. I mean, it's really difficult trying to hear what you're saying, so do well to call back. 95.1 FM.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're welcome, Obina.
Yes, my sister, you see our president's speech. You see, there is something we call ideology. And you see, we have different religions and different character. Since it's happening in Nigeria, you are talking about Niger. And they are also saying that people that are penetrating and doing every evil, they are not Nigeria. Where are they coming from? The only thing that will make this country to be stabilized is to call Igbos, Hausa, and Yoruba. Let them stay in the round table. And they do DNA test to know who is who and who from where he is from.
All right, DNA test. 95.1 FM.
Lady West.
Hello, good afternoon.
Mr. Ike on the line.
Welcome, Mike.
Yes. The president talked about hydrophone being manufactured by Nigeria. And you and I know that even the rice in the market, we cannot even afford it. So what is the possibility that Nigerians can afford that kind of phone? And I think you should let us know the company that manufactured that phone in this country.
Well, away from that, it's an advancement whether you like it or not. But then let's stay on what we're trying to talk about. Should we be more tribalistic than nationalistic? Should we be extending this much energy to other countries when we're yet to do so within the country and get good results?
There is nothing good that will come out of this country. Thank you.
Why would you say so?
My sister, you see the happenings now, killing all over the whole place.
But then if the same energy that we are exuding or extending to other countries would be extended within the country, don't you think that there would be a change?
The ones that we've been extending before, what have this country achieved with it?
All right then. Oh dear, we lost that particular call. 0817-0000951 or 0810-9510-951. 95.1 FM. Hello.
Hello. Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm Noble from Elias.
Welcome, Noble.
I think sometimes our president used to insult Nigerians. Why did I say that he used to insult Nigerians? Even today, in your headline, in his home state, Katsina, they have said that 4 bandits killed 4 soldiers, kill 4 civilians, and then adopt for 104 civilians. He didn't talk about it. And then this bandit...
He made mention of the insecurity situation. He didn't necessarily have to outline all of the cases of insecurity in the country.
No, he needs to talk about this one because this one even in his own state. He needs to mention it just like he do mention about Southeast or the other.
All right. Now, just quickly talk about the issue on ground and let's move on to the next caller.
If you can remember, there are 2 that these bandits are foreigners. Even El-Rufai travel to that other country to pay them to stop killing Nigerians. And then the same government are now talking about have a relationship with the people. What type of relationship are we going to have a relationship with? We are discussing in your own country and ruling. You have not fixed it for them to know that, yes, you are trying to build bridges between your own region, between your own country. You are building building bridges against other countries. Does it mean that you are trying to build that bridge? If anything happens, the country will help you to fight other people? Is it what I'm trying to do? Or you are building bridges for them to come and help you to keep your house in order?
All right, Noble, we've gotten you there. Oh, what's that call? 0817-0000951 or 0810-951-0951. I mean, there's too many ways to look at it. You want to also believe that the president pretty much understands the tension within the country. And, everything right now is a point of conversation and a point for concern. So when you're talking about infrastructural growth between different African countries as well as Nigeria, you also want to ask yourself the question, what do you stand to gain and how do you stand to manage that which you gain? We're yet to be able to get enough data or some sort of coalition for us to understand the influx of things in and out of this country. We're yet to also understand what we can do to protect our borders so that anybody who is coming in from this bordering African countries would be legitimate, right? They're coming in with good intentions. They have good plans so that they're not just constituting a nuisance to the country, but then they're coming in to also grow the economy in their little ways or in their different endeavors. These are things that we should first of all put in place, right? Before we consider or we start to think that some of these countries share a lot of similarities with us. Similarities or no similarities, it is the nation first. And the nation at this point in time is not very much in good shape. So don't you think that the energy should be towards cementing whatever differences we have between the different tribes in the country and not even trying to, rub shoulders with people from another country that shares similar or similarities with tribes? And then about the collaboration with the Niger Republic as to fighting Boko Haram, that's a good statement in the first place. But then as a people and as a nation, we should also ensure that our borders are properly taken care of, not with the woods that we put to demarcate one country from another. I mean, that's not enough security. I think that's even when we're supposed to be scared, and that's why we should. That's the only reason you would tell me to rub shoulders with other countries, because of course we don't have things in place, so we have to rub shoulders and plead with them. That's not how a sovereign nation should operate. But then, the question here is, should we be more tribalistic, embracing other African countries? Because of course it's the colonial masters that have caused the divide and the boundaries that we have in our continent and in our country today. Or we should take that same energy and put it inwardly to fix the bridge and the divide amongst tribes and ethnicities in the country. 95.
That's the question. Because of sentiment or selfishness, shall we start destroying ourselves? In the past, I remember, I have to say several that our governor of Eastern Nigeria, Dr. Michael M. Ayokman, did not build a house as a governor, a prime minister, a premier of Eastern Nigeria. He never had them who made them so. Then he divided so that you can get whatever you want. That is not through tribalism, through religion, because in all, it's a secular state and we must exist in a secular state.
Thank you, Grandpa, for that one. 95.1 FM.
Well, can you hear me?
Much better now, Gift.
Okay. Well, frankly speaking, all this long talk and everything, what Mr. President gave as an answer, frankly speaking, Mr. President is the one trying to even stir up some certain things. People have been insinuating. People have been complaining. What is the relationship between Nigeria and Niger? And you are talking about
Kanuri, talking about Hausa, talking about Fulani. So what about the German? What about the Akwa Ibom woman? What about the Calabar man? What about the Ikwere? What about the Yoruba? Why are we this sentimental? No wonder they are constructing railway without constructing either in Bayelsa or in River State. You're taking me to Niger. Look at the mentality. And somebody will be supporting this clear evil. This one is evil. That is the name. If you see a black, call it a black. Call a spade a spade. It's unfair. It's not good what Mr. President just told the whole world. It's very wrong. They should stop these things that they are doing. I'm telling you, I don't want to go further. I don't want to even give you instances. It is bad. Thank you.
All right then. I think we'll be able to take 2 more calls. 95.1 FM.
Hello, from Port.
Hello?
Yeah, it's Paul.
Paul.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Paul.
Someone called and talked about being patriotic or whatever. Who's supposed to be? Is it our president or we? Is it we or them? We vote you there to take care of Nigeria, not take care of other countries. Do you understand what we're talking about? Thank God, Nigeria is on fire. The country is on fire. Agitation everywhere. Yoruba is making their own agitation. The Africans are making their own agitation. Then you never talk how we're gonna see these guys together. I'm talking about the future. They are telling us about Niger.
All right then, Paul. All right, thank you for that. 95.1 FM. Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please, what's your name?
From Abba.
Okay, go on.
It's unfortunate that, should I say, we have a destabilized thing. With the situation of things in this country, and this man is talking about another people. There is no job for the youth. You go to school, you come out from the school, you manage to serve in the service, and you come out, there were you seeing Okada business and the business here and there. Insecurity situation. So if he's fighting for the plannings and the other, what happened to the German, like the last caller said? What infrastructure for 30 to 6 years he has been the president in the Southeast? There is no presidential presence in the South and the South side. People are agitated.
There are scattered projects of the federal government in the southeast. You would say not as huge as you expect, but you won't say there's no project at all. But I think I get from where you're coming from, and I don't know if I'll be able to read some messages now. Okay, we're still trying to get the tab open so that we can get your messages. But then we can be able to take one more call before we close the curtains. One more call. 95.1 FM.
Oh, good afternoon. Please tell Sam to stay away from my opinion.
95.1 FM.
Hello. All right. My name is Samakran from Boston.
You're welcome.
I think this country is a good country. I think naturally we are united by the river. Even the river Niger you're talking, transformation and spread all over the country. And all these sentiments doesn't work. Sometimes people will narrow it down as if it started from this administration. No. During the block, there was Mazop, IPOD, and the color was that over there. But that is not what is supposed to be clamoring for. All this is to unite the nation. Look how they educate the nation. It's better for somebody when Goodluck has been here, Aguirre has been here, even the government that has been here. If you count a lot of people here, we have been wrong. But the problem is these days. But people develop another mentality because somebody has irritated them, caused them to hate other people. You look at the hatred increase day by day, even from learned people who don't want to speak. You look at what the language that are using. Sometimes what you do, kids die, make them die, them.
All right. So what happens at this point? Quickly.
In America, they use the word we. But over here, we use the word they. Not good.
All right then. Thank you all so much for your contributions and calls. Sincerest apologies. We would not be able to read any of the messages because the portal is down. But do stay tuned as today's Sports Live comes up shortly.
Radio has never been this good. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Sunshine or rain, through every terrain.
Everywhere I turn, it's football, football.
So why not join in the action? Intrigues, excitement, and fun.
Just doesn't get better than this.
Many stars have continued to shine with every ace, every race, every break, and every other sports there is.
Incredible stuff.
On today's Sports Live, reaching you from your premium news, talk, and sports radio station, Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt.
That sounds like so much fun.
Weekdays after the news at 3. It's interactive, it's engaging, and don't forget, your voice is priority.
Hangs it up for Ronaldo. Oh, my God!
Experience the glorious goals rush. The heated verbal jabs and even moments of madness. Experience the sensational swings, strokes and shots. The moments of victory and despair. Experience lights out on a majestic night in Singapore and a whole lot more.
On your premium talk news and sports radio station.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Listen to Sports Attack every weekday from 7:30 a.m. and today's Sports Live after the news update at 3 p.m. Stay tuned on Saturdays and Sundays for a bumper edition of today's Sports Live from 1 to 6 p.m. Experience sports in its entirety on your premium talk news and sports radio station. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Hello, my name is Kanwanko aka Papilo. For the latest and trending sports stories, always listen to Today Sports Live on Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt.
Feel the magic in the air. Feel the magic in the air.
Feel the magic in the air.
Magic System, Red One, Shawty.
Feel the magic in the
A very good afternoon to you all out there. We are back on your radio once again, serving you today's Sports Live from Today 95.1 FM right here in the Garden City of Port Harcourt. And Mecca, then as my name, the Odogu One of Sports. I'm not alone in the building. I don't work alone. I've got Superman, Wisdom Obina, right here in the building. Superman, good afternoon to you and welcome to the show.
Good afternoon to you, Mecca. Good afternoon to you listening. It's a pleasure to be here again. Somehow, I said it the other time that when it comes to the ladies and tennis, you know, we always know that you might be shocked to know that some of your predictions would never work. We're seeing 4 semi-finalists that have no business or no prior history to be in the semi-final of Roland Garros. And also in the male category, the coast is clear. We're going to see one of those guys we believe will take over from where the other three giants stopped. That's Tsitsipas and Zverev in the final. No matter what happens, one of them would be in the final. It's great to be here, Mecca. Good afternoon to you.
All right, it's in the OT. It's also good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon to you, Emeka. Good afternoon to you, Wisdom. Good afternoon to our listeners out there. Emeka, finally, our own pride of Rivers United actually trashed
back to winning ways.
They after the four draws,
they brought Kano Pillars down to earth there.
No one's. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that margin of 2-0.
No, it was a must-win game for the Barcelona. I told you they must win that game. Otherwise, we will not take them serious.
Unreplied 2 goals. It was a great one from Stanley Gomas.
All right, they did quite well, I tell you. And of course, on the show this afternoon, we'll be talking about the French Open tennis. Yes, 13th time French Open winner Rafael Nadal sets up a mouth-watering semi-final clash with Novak Djokovic. And of course, that's a repeat of last year's final to tell you how big it is for these two to meet in the semi-finals. That will be their 58th meeting. I don't think any other players have played that much against each other. No, in the Open era, or perhaps in our own time, as it were. Right, like you heard from is in the Rivers United are back to winning ways. They were able to get it right against Kano Pillars yesterday in the MPFL. 2-0 it ended, even as Sunshine Stars, yes, finally won the game after the 19th time of asking. Yes, they went 18 games without winning. It's a record in the top flight. I told you that the other day. Taraba United had gone 17 matches without the win, but Sunshine Stars went one step better, and eventually they won yesterday. What a performance from the side. They can now start dreaming of escaping relegation. Elsewhere in the United States of America, the Super Falcons of Nigeria will be in action later tonight when they face the female national team of Jamaica in the 4-team Summer Series tournament out there in the US. And we'll do a big preview as far as the Euros is concerned. We started the preview already, but of course, later on the show, we'll be talking about the Euros, even as France have been tipped as favorites to win the title. Do you agree that France are the favorites, or do you think it's England, just like Phil Foden? He thinks England have what it takes to win the Euros there. But former Manchester United and England defender Gary Neville thinks France have all it takes. They are his favorites to win the title. How about you? Who are your favorites for the Euros that begins tomorrow with Italy playing against Turkey in the opening encounter? We'd love to hear from you. Now, I understand the text message line is also down. So please just avail yourself of the opportunity to talk to us via the phone only. Yes, later serious Coco Golf Express. That's Barbara Krejcikova. And of course, in the other semi-final match, we also saw the defending champion beaten quite easily as a matter of fact. Gaswantek was beaten by Maria Sakkari, also in Express 6-4, 6-4 right there. So she won't be defending her title. That's what it means. But let's look at the guys there. We start with Djokovic and Nadal. They were both in action yesterday and they won in 4 sets each. Superman, what do you make of their respective victories?
Fantastic. Expectedly too, you want to look at that. For Nadal, it wasn't easy at all. For the first time, he was pushed a little bit in this tournament, and that was against another man who
he dropped
he dropped a set
since 2019
for the first time, yes, in Roland Garros,
yes.
And it was against Diego Schwartzman, another very talented man, right there in the ATP series for the male category. Even though sometimes the presence of the giants makes them look like dwarfs, but ordinarily Diego Schwartzman is a very, very good player, and of course he pushed Nadal. But Nadal, in his usual form, did show him why he remains the king.
Yeah, and for Diego Schwartzman, he's been impressive, like you pointed out.
Very impressive.
He didn't drop a set until yesterday.
Very true. So I was even thinking it was going to be a stern test, possibly even a chance for us to see a shocker. But somehow Nadal still has his mojo and the magic behind both his legs and his hands when it comes to the French Open. For Novak Djokovic, I'm not sure people were expecting too much from Matteo, but Matteo Berrettini coming into this tournament has had
done in the
decider, at that point when he retired, you almost
the damage had been done already.
That he will be going out. So I think for me, I was expecting Novak to go through against Matteo. I do wish these other guys now, likes of Matteo, Musetti, and the young stars stars too who are coming up. Diego Schwartzman and the others, the best of luck next time. But I tell you, it's expected. Remember, we made the calculations that these two would meet. They were already in the same draw.
Yeah,
we had a chance,
draw,
to see two of them come up against each other, and it doesn't get bigger than this. Novak Djokovic up against Rafael Nadal, and somehow, Emeka, it guarantees us the spectacle to make sure maybe the stage, yes, the stage too, to behold, to know that one of these small boys, maybe not small boys now, because that Alex Zverev is more than 25 now, but somehow one of them will be in the final up against either Nadal or Djokovic.
All right, reliable reliance is Nadal Djokovic in the semi-final tomorrow. That fixture was the final pairing last year, but this time around, due to the luck of the draw, these guys find themselves facing each other in the semi-final. What are your expectations when these two clash tomorrow?
Ordinarily, I would have said I'm expecting a keen encounter between Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic, but I'm thinking it's going to be reduced. I mean, the number of times that Djokovic has gotten over Nadal is going to be reduced once again, because we could record the last final, and it's clear courts that we are talking about here. Nadal is always a beast when it comes to the clear court, and despite the aggression that comes in from Novak Djokovic, a man I believe is the most aggressive tennis player of the Open era. When it comes to clear court, you always expect the favorites, to be Rafael Nadal. So I expect Djokovic to at least give it a fight. Let's not see him being taken to the cleaners
like
it was
in
the last year final. Give him a fight. Let him drop a set, just like Diego Schwartzman did yesterday. Diego Schwartzman, I mean, if not for lack of experience, I think he should have gotten one.
I don't agree with that.
I think he's very experienced.
He's very experienced. He cannot be talking about lack of experience.
I'm trying to look for a way to pitch my tent, when it comes to how Rafael Nadal,
no matter how experienced you are, Nadal makes you look ordinary on clay.
That's basically what it is. So he gave a tough fight. I mean, he held up himself, but it's Nadal we are talking about, and it's clear cut. So give him a fight at least. Let that semi-final live up to expectation of a semi-final between two of the biggest tennis players of the Open era in Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic. That's what I expect to see. But in the end, I still think, despite whatever Novak Djokovic brings to the fore, it's going to be Rafael Nadal progressing to the final.
All right. Yesterday, we already told you about the women's quarterfinals encounters. Of course, we had yesterday. Cody Gauff beaten by Barbara Krejcikova in straight sets, 7-6. 6-3, and of course to set up a semi-final pairing with Maria Sakkari, who also took out the defending champion Iga Swiatek 6-4, 6-4. Okay, those two will be meeting later today, but the first semi-final is underway already between Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova and Tamara Zidansek. Now, the good thing about the ladies is that all four semi-finalists are appearing in the semi-final of a Grand Slam for the first time in their careers, as it were. So you don't even know what to expect from them. But let's look at what has happened so far today in the first semi-finals. Isn't it? Pavlyuchenkova has taken the first set, 7-5, right?
Yes.
7-5, yes. And they're in the second set right now. Are you putting your money on her to eventually get the victory?
No, Emeka, I won't really put my money. Before we came in, you could see, I think it was evenly poised at some point. It was still 5-5. But later, I think Nikekova got a better hands in the game. It's still open. I won't really give it to them, because you can see the four ladies in the semi-finals, they are all in their median semi-finals appearance. Yes, some of them, I think for Zidansek, she just made this her first. I think she just passed other French Open. It's just first and second round. She has always been. They haven't really gone far. I don't think I can really call out now. The second set is just beginning. I think it's still early to actually give that call. But Emeka, I think for Rafael Nadal and Novak, I think Novak Djokovic is learning his lesson. And when they met the Rome Opens, I know Nadal, but at least it wasn't as embarrassing.
Yeah, it was the first set victory for Nadal.
Yes, it was a straight set, but it wasn't as embarrassing. Three set, and he
Djokovic
took
won one of the sets.
So it wasn't as embarrassing as last set. I think it won't be as easy as we actually said. And don't forget that Novak is trying to actually set the record for the man to win the Grand Slams, the doubles in the Open era. He will be the first. It's not like Nadal that actually. We all know that Nadal, yes, is the king of play. When it comes to play, you cannot actually you will always bet his money for him. But I think it won't be an easy one. But I feel sad because
will you be bold enough to bet against Nadal beating Djokovic tomorrow?
Yeah, Emeka, I might, because why I would say so. And Djokovic actually has that. How will I say? He has this persistent nature when he comes, even when you want to give up.
But we saw him last year in the final.
You could
against saying, Nadal.
Yes, but don't forget, even before this French Open, the Belgrade, you want to say he was one that kind of organize it, and on the Belgrade Open, he actually tried. That was
who played there?
Yes, Emeka, it doesn't really matter. Yes, it was still.
Wait, let me get it clear. Okay, make a prediction. Nadal Djokovic, who wins tomorrow?
Emeka, I'll give it to Nadal, but
okay,
I see something happening.
Okay, don't worry.
I'm telling you, I think.
Let me still stay with you, isn't there? You have said it all, and in spite of all the doubts, you still believe Nadal will beat Djokovic. Now, the second semi-final for the ladies is between Barbara Krejcikova and Maria Sakkari, who took out the defending champion. Where will your money be on when these two meet later this afternoon?
Emeka, first of all, I will not bet my money in any of them.
Okay, it's open. Anything
but
can
I
happen
think
there.
For you to win a defending champion, yes, you might say yesterday. Let's not forget that Iga Swiatek actually had a problem with her knee. So that was
after she lost the first set.
Yes, after
and
then,
she was trailing the second set.
Yes, but you could say before you actually notice that she actually had that knock, you know that she was in pain already before that happened. So I don't have any clear favorite. I just feel any of them can take it.
It's there for the taking for all four
ladies,
players.
Yes.
Right
but
there.
for the men, we have to see a Tsitsipas that actually lost 3 semi-finals. I just hope he can actually move on to the finals, and maybe we might see Deva Kante, new French Open winner.
The Superman, the second semi-final for the men will be between Stefanos Tsitsipas and Alexander Zverev. Two players, evenly matched. You want to say, doing quite well for themselves as well. None of them yet to win a Grand Slam, but who do you see eventually triumphing when these two meet tomorrow?
Well, it's going to really be interesting. I saw the clips of the Stefanos Tsitsipas Daniil Medvedev match, and I think Tsitsipas is playing really well. But one thing you have to really agree with is the fact that when you expect these young men to turn up based on their form, and somehow they just get to a particular match and they forget everything they have had in terms of form prior to that particular one. So it's up against an Alexander Zverev. I feel like Alexander Zverev is more mentally strong than or more of a mentally tougher opponent than Stefanos Tsitsipas, and I think that will count, Emeka. That just would be it for me.
So
I will not look at. Yeah, I will not look at no. It's very yes. I will not look at their previous games.
All right. Where will you put your money? Tsitsipas Zverev tomorrow. Tsitsipas. Reliance.
I think Tsitsipas will. I tend
because of the way he took out Daniil Medvedev.
Not exactly. If we're talking about the next gens and you want to rate them, I think Tsitsipas would be a bit higher than Daniil Medvedev in terms of experience. I can't say exactly for the number,
but not current form. So, if you were looking at form prior to this tournament, you would give it to Medvedev.
Zverev is even older than Tsitsipas in terms of experience now. I mean, Sasha is older than Tsitsipas.
I was talking about Tsitsipas Medvedev. That was a quarterfinal before he's bound to beat Alexander Zverev. But mental toughness, I'll give it to Alexander Zverev. But I think
take on Alexander Zverev in the first semi-final final. Okay, let's shift our attention to the MPFL on the show this afternoon.
United we shall triumph with a rainbow of sunshine. God is for us. We overcome all the giants and stand to conquer all. United, our pride, Rivers United.
All right, of course, Rivers United, we are able to get it right yesterday against Kano Pillars. Sunday at Detunji and Paul Aqua with both goals either side of halftime as the Pride of Rivers secured the 2-0 victory over the Seibe Sugida to move up to 4th on the MPFL stand. Let's see. That's very brilliant. Look at the way he analyzed the game. Even what the opponents did, how they played, how he was able to counter them and eventually get the goals and all that. That's what we want to always hear from our coaches. A brilliant one from Stanley Guma. Let's hear from his opposite number, Ibrahim Musa of Kano Pillars.
It's not bad. We play better, but we need to improve in our goal scoring. If you check our 2 matches against Imba, even Nasarawa, Plateau, we need to score more goals. It's the same thing with today's match, though whenever the pillar has.
All right, elsewhere, Sunshine Stars ended the longest winless streak in the MPFL history with a narrow 1-0 win against Dakar FC in Akure yesterday. The Akure side had failed to win in 18 previous games, but Ejiku Zenyi's goal. Is this the same Ejiku Zenyi of former Super Eagles player, former Rangers, former Mamelodi Sundowns player? They cannot be too Ejiku Zenyi.
I think so, yes.
It's okay. He got the goal in at that time of the first half, and that was enough to hand the winner Wales their first win in 19 matches. Wonders they say shall never end. All right, let's review the full results of matches played yesterday and today. One more match also to go down later this evening. Plateau United yesterday defeated Katsina United 2-0. Enyimba 2-1 winners over Adamawa United. The Enyimba fans are not happy because they expected Enyimba to score at least 3 goals in that match. Yet they Adamawa even drew level at some point in that fixture before Enyimba got the second goal via the penalty spot. They won by 2-1. Rivers United 2-0 winners over Kano Pillars. Jigawa Golden Stars played at a 1-0 draw with Wiki Tourist, and of course Sunshine Stars won for the first time in 19 matches against Dakar FC yesterday, beating them 1-0 right there in Akure. Lobby Stars this evening. The Aqua United coach was at the stadium yesterday to watch the Rivers United Kano Pillars game. I understand that his side will be facing Kano Pillars next, so Baboye was doing his own work and spying on Kano Pillars.
Who says our coaches are not working?
All right, but let's look at the table last stand before Aqua United take on Catland today. Kano Pillars are still top with 48 points, and Aqua United can reclaim top spot with a win against Heartland. They play by 4 p.m. today. Aqua United have got 46 points. Nasarawa United are third on the table with 45 points. Same number of points with Rivers United, even same goal difference, I tell you, but they have scored more goals than Rivers United. That's why they are ahead of Rivers United. So both sides there have 45 points. And looking at the bottom four, we've got Warriors on the 17th spot with 27 points. Ifeanyoba occupy the 18th spot with 25 points. We have Sunshine Stars still in the relegation zone on the 19th spot with 24 points, and Adamawa United have got 16 points, occupying the bottom spot on the table right there.
I think it was a massive one from Stanley Eguma's men. I didn't see that coming. I expected a Kano Pillars draw because you could see a Kano Pillar that won Enyimba last week during the weekend.
They had gone in a 9-match
unbeaten run. No one. I didn't see that coming. I think that's a good statement from Stanley Eguma's men. Winning Kano Pillars, the league toppers presently, 2-0 unreplied goals from you could hear even with the analysis Stanley Egumas gave. You know that he enjoyed the game.
Sure.
You could see that he understood the game. The players were able to know what they wanted. They knew that this is Rivers State. This is the Amesimaka Stadium. That is their fortress. They had to bring that.
Enyimba narrow 2-1 win. The fans are not happy. They said Enyimba should have won by 5-0, 6 goals, score as many goals as possible against the Adamawa United. More like underrating the struggling Adamawa United side there.
Well, I think the way they got that 3 points is even the very painful part, which is why I would understand the concern.
From Enyimba led 1-0.
Yes, they equalized. Yes,
Adamawa
United equalized
before Enyimba got the winning goal by the penalty.
Yes, yeah. So it was not looking like a clear win. It looks like something they struggled or managed to get all 3 points, and by Enyimba standards, that is unacceptable against a lowly ranked and poor performing.
So you are equally underrating Adamawa United.
No, it's not underrating Emeka. As much as we
know, but Enyimba did a double over them. They beat them home and away.
But this time, people go to Adamawa United.
Maybe they were motivated to get something out, but I think the fashion of the win is not too impressive. But like you said, 3 points is 3 points, even if it's half goal to nothing.
All right, Reliance. Rivers United did Aqua United some sort of favor yesterday, right?
Surely.
So Aqua United have their destiny in their hands. They have to beat Atlant today to go to the top of the table.
They just have to.
Can they do it?
Yes.
Do you see them doing it today?
Yes. It's Aqua United, record holders in the Nigeria Professional Football League. Yet to
record holders of what?
Record holders of number of beaten streak for Aqua United. Yet to win the trophy, no doubt. But it's a clear opportunity. But here's the thing, Emeka, psychologically, this kind of opportunities are rarely seized. I mean, if you're not careful, it could be thrown away. I've observed it in so many leagues. I've seen it in the English Premier League. I've seen it in the Spanish La Liga, where you have opportunities like this to go top of the table at times, and it happens. It puts more pressure on you when your close rival more like has done it before you, so you now know that you just have to do this to get it done, just like it is for Aqua United. But I think that team is mentally and psychologically sound. They should be able to overwhelm any kind of pressure and get the job done against an experienced coach in the Nigerian Professional Football League in the person of Fidelis Ilechukwu with his Heartland side. Not the best of players, not the how should I put it now? The high profile players in the MPFL, the man is using at the moment, but he's been able to get the result and stabilize the team as well. Talking about Fidelis Ilechukwu and the Heartland team, I could recall earlier in the season when he complained about the management of the team having to allow 8 players go who were like his starters, more like quality players for him, but he had to make do with what he has at the moment. So coming up against Kennedy Boboye and Aqua United on fire at the moment, it might be difficult for him, I think. But Kennedy Boboye should be able to do it. Fonodo is scoring goals. God, I think about it, that should be 7th or 8th goal if I'm not mistaken in the league this season. So it's a team that scores from from all ends, from the defenders to the midfield to the attack. They play kind of free flowing football. So I think they should be able to get the job done against Heartland FC.
So your money will be on Aqua United today to win Heartland and go to the top of the table.
Always in
all right, we'll wait and see how that one pans out. In the meantime, let's go to the camp of the Super Group. We'll open the phone list. Super Falcons, I should say. All right, 21 Super Falcons players trained with the team. Trained yesterday, during the evening session at the BBVA Stadium. In preparation for their first game at the US Summer Series. The team's first training section took place at the home ground of Houston Dash without captain and FC Barcelona forward Sato Shola. Players in camp ahead of today's encounter against the Reggae Queens of Jamaica. They include the Mehin Oluwatoshin of Sunshine Queens, Ibe Abidemi of Bayosa Queens, who have Obonna Kudo, Obonna Glory, both of Do Queens, Etim Inyene Sunday of Abia Angels, Ikechukwu Vivian of Rivers Angels, Bokiri Joy of Bayelsa Queens, Monde Gift FC Robo Queens, Mbadi Uju Amanda of Bayelsa Queens, American-based goalkeeper Yewande Balogun Onyinyechi Zog of FC Basel in Switzerland, Rosa Areo. I mean, there are quite a lot of them. Permit me to skip some of those names, but we understand that some key names are also yet to hit camp. The likes of Onome Ebi, Asato Shola, Celine Otta, are the players being expected to hit camp ahead of Nigeria's first game later today. It means they will not be part of that one because they haven't even arrived as at this morning. Okay, so Nigeria take on Jamaica. Yes, later this evening. It's about 10:38 Nigerian time. Yes, 10:38 Nigerian time. Know the time difference between US and Nigeria, 4 a.m. sometimes to watch matches and what have you. All right, so Super Falcons face the world champions USA. Yeah, but what do you expect from the ladies?
But that Turkey Women's Cup, you can also argue that the teams that came there are fair weather teams and CSK Moscow ladies, teams that don't even do too well on their own continents, and even in their own countries. So I think this would be the chance for us to
is equally there, yeah.
Very, very commendable one, I must say. However we got in, by invitation or by anything, it's a good one to test the ladies.
Tournament.
Yes, the USA we are going to play, like you mentioned, the Jamaicans.
They are the best team in the world.
So it would really be a fine test. And I do hope to see how we perform against them.
All right. You expect the Falcons to ruffle a few feathers there? Can they get it right when it comes to the big one against the United States?
Please don't go United States. But I think they are on a class of their own.
They are ruthless. They are ruthless.
They are on a class of their own. But I think Coach Waldon should just take it easy. This is where he actually has to see these players. They should just play together and understand, get that team rhythm and know how best to. It doesn't affect any ranking. It's just a tournament to actually keep them fresh, to give them like an experience to a better team play. I think against the Jamaicans.
Go there and fuck up. The thing go there and mess up. You know that it will definitely affect you.
The thing there is wisdom. We are not. It's not like it's a ranking thing or a big tournament, but it's just they were invited among other countries. You can't expect too much. You can't expect too much from a Super Falcons against a USA.
No.
If we even get a
draw, what we expect is that don't concede more than 5 goals.
Yeah, if we even get a draw,
a draw is like Nigeria winning the World Cup. If you draw against USA, we have won the World Cup.
Against Jamaica, you might say not too. They are not too.
No, we are out there. And of course, what else? The Super Falcons in action against in the summer series out there in the United States against Jamaica later tonight. What are your expectations? Let's get to hear from you. We'll have a caller on the line. Hello.
Hey, Meta, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Today's Sports Live, Eto.
Yes, it's from
all right, let's hear you.
somebody is trying to argue something. Last season MPFL winner. Who was the last winner last season?
Well, there was no winner last season. Last season there was no winner.
But I thought that they make Enyimba as the winner.
No, Enyimba won it in 2019. No, you're talking about last season. Last season, Plateau United led until they used PPG to wrap up the season. Yes.
But which one?
You have to stop arguing. They don't chop your money. Go rest. Bye bye. Hello. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Today's Sports Live.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Judge it that way, okay? They gave I was at the stadium yesterday. Pillars gave a good fight.
Did Enyimba not beat Adamawa United home and away?
Okay.
But we are not talking about Enyimba because everybody in Enyimba is not doing well this season. So, yes.
Gone on a 9-match
against
Djokovic tomorrow.
Yes, I think so.
What makes you think so? Uyo.
Okay. That means we are going back to the top of the table, right?
I don't know about that.
That is how it's going to happen.
Knew this way, but in the MPFL, it's always too early on March the 26th or 25th.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Today's Sports Live.
My name is Believe. I call from Rumibo.
Believe from Rumibo. Let's say you.
Yes. I say Novak Djokovic is going to win that match.
Novak Djokovic to beat Nadal tomorrow. Can you put your money on that one?
Yes, I can.
Okay. We will wait and see. Okay.
Rivers United.
Okay.
They're going to win the ladies season. I not think to stopping them.
Rivers United are far from the title now. You know, okay, we're not too far. Just 3 points behind Kano Pillars. Yes, sir.
It's just 3 points.
But if Aqua United wins today, it will now be 4 points.
Yes, Aqua United will draw today.
You know, Aqua United are on a 15-match unbeaten run.
Yeah, they're going to draw.
Okay, against Atlanta, eh?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll go to another caller. Oh, sorry, we lost that one. All right, time to take one or two more calls before we talk about European football. The Euros precisely gets underway tomorrow. Euro 2020 that is played in 2021, just like the Olympics. Tokyo 2020 in 2021. No thanks to coronavirus. Let's see if we can hear from one more caller and we go to the Euros. Hello.
Yeah, Odoku, I call back. The same call.
Good afternoon to you. What's your name? Apostle of Love. Okay, let's hear you.
Yeah, let me finish my talk. I want Rivers United and Aqua United to do all their best this season to make sure that anybody didn't come close to first and second position. If they miss it this season, that means they're coming back on fire next season.
You think Enyimba cannot win the league this season?
I can't forget that.
Are you really out?
Fatah cannot do anything. I've seen that man now. He's struggling. Since I just don't want to do anything about him. So let's leave the look for Rivers United, Afan and Kennedy Boboy.
Okay.
So if they miss it this time, that will be their own to rule.
Okay.
It's all right.
Thank you so much, Apostle of Love.
Feel the magic in the air. Feel the magic in the air.
France right now. There was a time he was in Germany. For me, football is in France.
Yeah, national team football.
Any angle you want to look at it, I will explain. Yes, we had two English teams in the final, but we've had a French team make it to back-to-back semi-finals in PSG. A good number of those players too are French players. Check the teams that made it to the finals in the Champions League. You have French players in some of those teams. N'Golo Kante we're talking about today won the Champions League with Chelsea. You know, you could even go down to the Europa League and all that, even though some of those ones don't even play for the team. So I think for me, I would agree. Go to the various departments, the goalkeeping position, go the defense, the midfield, the attackers. They've even brought back Karim Benzema back to the team. And you're asking yourself, you know, what their bench. Their bench can comfortably play in the Euros. Alex Lacazette will probably not have any breathing space there. Olivier Giroud. These are French players who can comfortably even come in and still do the damage up front. So I think for me, if we want to go through the list of players they have at the moment, they are star-studded. And I look at the other teams that are competing with them. I can't look at the Italian national team and say the Italian side, even though Vieri has said they are going to challenge. But I'm looking at the team and Mancini. Can they actually challenge? Do they have the players at the moment? What's the standard of the players who are playing for the Italian national team? What have they even been able to do with their club side. You win the Italian Serie A, that's your business. What are you doing in Europe with some of those players? Who are the key players from Italy that are playing for big teams? So you look at France. You can't look away from France. You can definitely call the other names like Portugal and Spain, but France has got to be the favourites if you want to go by the
According
players.
to Superman, France the favourites, just like Gary Neville. He agrees in total with Gary Neville that France are the favourites. Of course, France are in a pretty difficult group F, where they will trade tackles with the likes of Germany, Portugal, and Hungary. They opened their campaign against Germany on the 15th of June. All right, let's talk you through the other groups. Starting from Group A, we'll be seeing the opening match tomorrow between Turkey and Italy, and that one is scheduled for about 8 p.m. Turkey taking on Italy at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome by 8 p.m. tomorrow. That's the opening game of the competition. Wales and Switzerland will also play in that group as well, but tomorrow on Saturday, 12th precisely. In Group B, we've got Denmark, Finland, Belgium, and Russia. And of course, in Group C, we've got Austria, North Macedonia, the Netherlands, and Ukraine. Group D has got England, Croatia, the World Cup runners-up, Scotland, and the Czech Republic. In Group E, we have Poland, Slovakia, Spain, and Sweden. And like you already know, Group F houses Hungary, Portugal, and France and Germany. More like a very difficult group right there, isn't it? Is that the group of death?
Emeka,
Group F.
that's the group of death. I just pity for Hungary.
Portugal.
I wonder what
They'll
they'll
go
be
hungry.
thinking. I don't know. I wonder what they'll be thinking. Against these are the names. When it comes to world football, you have to call the Germany, you have to call France, you call Portugal. They are always there. I don't know how they are going to do that. It's not going to be easy for them. You get to think, who do you think is actually going to qualify? But I think in the past few years, we haven't seen Germany live up to their expectations. They have really struggled. So you really want to tip them to actually be favorites. I think, first of all, we have to think France will surely qualify. Whether you like, you can always bank your money on that France will be among the teams that will qualify.
But do you know what happens?
You can't always bank. You can't always bank.
When there's wait, I'm coming. Wait.
You can't always bank.
At the 2002 World Cup, France were the defending champions. They came to the World Cup as defending champions. They were in a group that had Senegal, Denmark, and Uruguay. Right? No, Senegal, Uruguay, and which other country? They didn't manage a single goal in that competition, and they were knocked out in the first round without scoring a goal. They had 3 highest goal scorers from the major leagues coming into the tournament.
We can also talk about
that was
South Africa.
I think they have a good multitude of
see,
good players.
that France team of 2002 is better than this current France team in terms of quality.
Emeka,
that team had Zinedine Zidane.
You look at
that team had Thierry Henry. That team had David Trezeguet.
Emeka, whether we like it or not, these are World Cup winners, and it's almost the same players that played during the World Cup. They are still coming.
Okay.
They are still doing very. They are still
right,
consistent.
So France to qualify,
in that group.
Yes,
then I think Portugal will take it. I don't see Germany, but maybe an upset might happen. But these are the two teams I think that will come out from that
automatically, because there is also a provision for four best third place teams coming through from the 6 groups as it were. All right. Ultimately, who do you see winning the competition? Gary Neville thinks it will be France.
Yes, when it comes to favorites, you always want to tip France, but I think you have other countries that actually will give them a run for their money.
Like
you have, I think Portugal too have a good stance when it comes to winning it. Even you may want to call the Italians, but I will see. I think the
Italians qualified brilliantly under Roberto Mancini.
England, you might say yes, sometimes they falter a lot, but they have one of the best players now. They have one of the best stars coming up, young upcoming stars. So I won't really tip them completely because I think it's open.
If you have to put your money, which team would you go for to win the Euros?
I'm not putting money now.
You see, you're a very diplomatic person, isn't it? Reliance, put your money on one of these teams to win the Euros. Let's see if we can cash out.
France or Portugal?
No, you just have to be one of these teams.
Okay, just one team. I think it's France. I would totally agree with Gary Neville. There is no other European team at the moment, national team that is in the best of form as we have in France.
Italy are in a better form than them in terms of form. If you talk of just form, Italy qualified. Had the 100% qualification process, and they also have won all the matches in the build-up.
That's as per qualification, but. Look at the achievements of in the past couple of years, maybe 2 or 3 years, and tell me which other team that you would think are better off. Now, the Italian team we are talking about, there was a time that they were in this transitioning period of time, when they started having bad results. And I think that was the same thing that happened to that France team of 2002 afterwards. They have to transition and all that. So at the moment, I can't bet I can't bet against France winning it. Germany, they have a couple of players. I mean, they have stars in the team, but coming together, it's less what they could mention. So
what issues?
I wrote for France.
COVID-19 might eliminate
more. No, just as your boss
Sergio Ramos is not also good.
No. Sergio Ramos is not fit. All right, let's quickly let you know that Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova is through to the final of the French Open. She has defeated Tamara Zidansek in straight sets, 7-5, 6-3. So she will meet either Barbara Krejcikova or Maria Sakkari in the final on Saturday. So congratulations there to Pavlyuchenkova. All right, time to go to the phone lines to hear from you regarding the Euros. Gary Neville and a lot of the guys in the building here have tipped France to win the Euros. It gets underway tomorrow with Italy taking on Turkey in the opening game of the tournament by 8 p.m. at the Stadio Olimpico. It's the unique Euros where you have about 12 countries playing host to one tournament. Can you beat that? Can only happen in Europe, I tell you. All right. So, what do you expect in terms of the winners overall? Is it going to be France, Germany, Italy, England, Spain?
I'm going for Portugal.
Portugal.
Yeah, to win.
All right. So let's go to the phone lines and hear what the listeners are also going for. 0817 000951 0810 9510 951. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to today's Sports Live.
Apostle of Love again.
All right. So who are you tipping to win the Euros?
It's very tricky, but I think I will go with France.
France to win the Euros, just like Gary Neville. Thank you so much, Apostle of Love. Hello.
Hello, Emeka. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Today's Sports Live. Your name and the location?
I'm in Houston. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Good to have you on the show. Who are you tipping to win the Euros?
I think I'll go for England. England are very good.
England, the last time they won the tournament was in 1966. Yeah, I'm not sure your father was born there.
Same time they tasted the world. But they're not a bad side.
Hello. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to today's Sports Live.
Greetings from Waterline.
All right, let's hear you. Which team are you tipping to win the Euros? Portugal.
I'm going for Portugal, yeah.
All right. Portugal actually the defending champions, right? Yes. So they won it in 2016. All right. So let's see if they will be able to successfully defend.
If they can get through that
title.
group, I think they will.
They have so many beautiful players.
They have
right?
players.
Ronaldo,
in Man City,
Bruno,
they have players.
Bruno
They've got the names. I think if they get through that group, for me, Portugal are favorites to win, or my pick to win the title.
All right. Back to the phone lines. Let's get more reactions. Hello. Good afternoon to you. Today's Sports Live. Hello?
This is Max Gain.
All right. Let's hear you.
Okay, me, I prefer Portugal.
Portugal for the title.
Yeah, because Bruno Fernandes is there.
Ruben Neves, Rui Patricio, Ronaldo.
N'Golo Kante.
They were just
No. I'm telling you the French players.
Bernardo Silva.
N'Golo Kante.
Bernardo Silva. Ronaldo.
Antoine Griezmann.
Mbappe. Bruno Fernandes.
Then you have Benzema.
Man.
Hey, Benzema is back.
Andre Silva. It's going to be very interesting. Very interesting group.
But that group will first tell us. I think the champions would come from that group.
Yeah. I think so.
How about those French boys in Bayern Munich? Those small boys.
Corentin
Tolisso and the other one. What's his name? The other one. I mean, the defender too.
Benjamin Pavard.
Pavard is there. There's another one too.
Okay.
Joshua Kimmich.
No,
is it French?
German.
It's German. Okay. So, but you got lots of talents in the French team as well. Yes, all right. Back to the phone line. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Nika.
Albert, good to have you on the show. Quickly.
Good afternoon to everybody out there.
Greeting.
Yeah, of course, they are favorite, but we should also think back what happened in 2004. Greece came in and then won it.
So, are you seeing any underdog like North Macedonia going all the way?
I'm telling you the truth. European football is very funny at times, you understand?
You know what happened in 2004 doesn't happen often in football, you know that?
the leagues are developed, you understand? They have stronger fine players, you understand? Anybody can shock you. It's not like Africa football.
All right.
The leagues are developed, so anybody can
So,
win.
which team are you tipping to win it?
I think, Portugal, they have a very balanced team, you understand? This team, they have been there for so many years. More like the France team, you understand? I see them, maybe they can clash in the final with you.
Okay. We'll wait and see. Thank you so much. Let's go to the next caller. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Emeka.
A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Today's Sports Live.
This is Darlington from Igwechi.
Good to have you on the show, Darlington. Talk to us.
Emeka, my head says France, my heart says Belgium.
Leave that in. Tell us one. Which one your heart going to tell you another thing, your head going to tell you another thing.
Okay, conclusively France.
France for the title, Darlington. Okay, thank you so much. Let's go to the next caller. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Sport Gang.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Today's Sports Live.
Yes, my name is Maxwell, and I wanted to disagree with all of you there to do that France is the favorite.
No, it's not all of us. It's not all of us. Superman is going for Portugal. Me, I'm not going for any of them. You know, so you can say all of us.
You see, in the last edition, nobody has given Portugal a chance. But we all knew what happened. So this thing, I'm studying behind Belgium. I know Belgium. They are
Belgium. Yes, Belgium. Oh, solid team, man.
They are just covered Harry to support Martinez, the coach. So I'm sure they are going to be a strong contender for this edition.
All right, we'll go. Watch out for Belgium. Watch out for Belgium. I tell you. All right, we lost that one. I'm afraid that's the most we can take on the show this afternoon. Thank you so much to Izine for putting the package together, and of course the Superman and the reliable Reliance. Meka Jonas, my name is Odogu One Sports. We'll be back tomorrow morning 7:30 a.m. for Sports Attack, and later in the day the fan special edition with your favorite Melanin Sports presenter Victoria Hay will come your way by 3 p.m. Until then, do have yourselves a wonderful evening out there and keep it locked on this dial. Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Murakoze.
Magic System, Red One, Shawty. Yes, I love that. Feel the magic.
When the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. News update.
Good evening, here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I am Wisdom Obina. Rivers State Local Government Election Petition Tribunal has commenced hearing of petitions from aggrieved political parties who participated in the just concluded April 17th election. At resumed hearing, the three-man panel led by Chief Magistrate Rita Ogugwo first entertained preliminary objections raised by the People's Democratic Party and their candidate in a petition filed by Labour Party chairmanship candidate in Degema local government area of the state. Ruling on the preliminary objections by the respondent councils, which was objected by the petitioners' council, the three-man tribunal led by Chief Magistrate Ogugwo refused to grant the request, citing a provision of the law that allowed the court to give the ruling on the final judgment of the matter. Today FM's Uchendu Ejiowo reports that the panel, however, granted application for extension of time by counsel to the People's Democratic Party and Nabraba Benibo, since it was not opposed by any party before adjourning till 16th of June 2021 for definite hearing. The chairmanship candidate of Labour Party in Degema, Odoye Elekima, wants the tribunal to declare him winner of the April 17th local government council elections against the victory of Michael John Williams of the PDP as declared by the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, RISEC. Today FM also gathered that 3 chairmanship petitions and 1 councillorship involving Labour Party and African Action Congress in Degema and Democratic People's Congress in Obaibema local government area of Rivers State. Ahead of the planned resumption of courts on Monday, the 14th of June, the president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Olumide Akpata, has disclosed that a monitoring committee set up by the National Judicial Council will address the concerns raised by JUSON. In a statement dated 9th of June, Akpata said the committee is to ensure that governors do not default from their financial and ancillary commitments which influenced JUSON's decision to suspend the strike. According to the statement, the monitoring committee will be chaired by a retired justice officer at the Supreme Court, the Emir of Lafia, Nasarawa State, His Royal Highness Justice Sidi Bagi. Other members of the committee are the President of the National Industrial Court, Justice Benedict Kanyip, the Chief Judge of Abia State, Justice Onoha Ogwe, the NBA President and the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Muiz Banire. The NBA President also noted that after initial hesitation, the state governors on the 4th of June signed their part of the negotiated agreement with JUSON, which requires them to release funds to the heads of courts in their respective states before the strike can be called off. The strike, which seeks the implementation of the financial autonomy of the judiciary, began on the 6th of April and was in its 10th week before it was called off on Wednesday, the 9th of June. The management of the University of Port Harcourt has put a disclaimer to the ongoing fraudulent online recruitment of academic staff by the management of the university. The management of the university said if the institution is recruiting, it would be done through its official website, saying the act is meant to extort the members of the public. The school, however, called on the general public to distance themselves from getting involved in the process. In a statement made available to Today FM's news desk and signed by the school's public relations officer, Sam Benu, the school management said further investigations will be carried out to ensure the culprits face the full wrath of the law. The police have arrested a native doctor and 9 suspects who were involved in the attack on the residence of the Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodinma. The armed men on April 24 attacked the governor's residence in Omuma Oru East local government area and invaded the governor's village before touching it. The Commissioner of Police, Imo State Command, SP Balai Kana, in a statement said tactical teams of the command, through diligent and painstaking investigations, stormed Ukuoji, Mbaituli local government area and arrested one Ezugo Odu, a native of Ubachima Omuma Oru West local government area. He confessed to being a member of IPOB, ESN, and made useful statements to the police as regards the recent attacks on police stations as well as the residence of Governor Hope Uzodinma. On the foreign scene, a 28-year-old medieval history enthusiast who slapped French President Emmanuel Macron risks up to 3 years in jail. Identified as Damien T, when he appears in court for the first time on Thursday, he told investigators he acted without thinking. Damien has been in custody since the incident on Tuesday and is expected to be convicted of assaulting a public figure when he appears before a magistrate in the southern town of Valence. The charge carries a maximum 3-year jail sentence and a fine of 45,000 euros, although the court will take into account the defendant's clean criminal record and any expression of remorse. And that was the news update on Today 95.1 FM. Do not forget, take responsibility. Wash your hands frequently with soap on the running water. Avoid touching your face and high contact surfaces to prevent coronavirus. Good afternoon. I am Wisdom Obina. Thanking you for listening.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today 95.1 FM.
way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Many years after independence, we still find it hard to start. How long shall we be patient before we reach the promised land? Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Tell me. Oh yeah. I want to know. Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Every little thing that goes wrong, we start to blame the government. We know everything that goes wrong because we are part of the government. Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Way to go. To know which way Nigeria is heading to. Our ambition to be millionaires is running the country down. We all want to be millionaires and to live in the air. Oh, let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Remember that a simple step is the beginning of a million miles. Let's start right now to rebuild ourselves so as to make the country smile. Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh sure. Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Heaven and earth will pass away. It is written in the book of God. The good people will surely find their ways, and the meek will inherit the world. Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't fall. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? To go. I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. We want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. One more time. Which way Nigeria is heading to. Let's save Nigeria. Which way Nigeria is heading to. Which way Nigeria is heading to. Which way Nigeria is heading to. One more time. Which way Nigeria is heading to. Amen. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. it hard to start? How long shall we be patient before we reach the promised land? Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Tell me which way to go. I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to.
Let me also use this opportunity to reiterate that my directive to security agencies to shoot any person or persons found illegally wielding AK-47s and other assault weapons remain in place. Commander-in-Chief, my primary responsibility remains the security of the country and the safety of all citizens. Despite the many challenges we are facing, I want Nigerians to rest assured that we will secure this country. We will secure our infrastructure, our highways, our communities, and our forests, and we will secure the lives of our people.
Of Mr. President, you heard him. Be rest assured, we will secure our land, our border, we will secure our citizens. Just be rest assured, nothing will happen. That's the voice of Mr. President just a while ago in Lagos while he was handing over some equipment purchased by the Lagos state government to the Nigerian police force in the city of Lagos. You know, it's been a busy day for Mr. President. There was an interview that was aired this morning that was conducted by a private media house in Lagos. I think that was done during the week, where it was early this morning, and then the president dashed off to the city of Lagos for a number of activities, one of which is the handing over of police equipment to the police. The equipment was actually purchased by the Lagos state government. Welcome. This is the time that you speak. We allow you to contribute to issues, burning national issues across the country. This is a platform on radio, Thursday's edition. It's a 1-hour presentation on trading issues, program rundown. Of course, time check is just maybe about 12 minutes after 4 o'clock. As I welcome you to another edition of the platform on radio on your premium talk station today, 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I'm Onyekachi. I shall give you an insight into some of the news report making the rounds. The platform on radio is a program where we come to slice up trending issues with correspondent reports. Our correspondents are out there sourcing reports from the field, and on this program, we take their report and have them give us more details. Perhaps some of the things you didn't even hear in the bulletin, you will hear on this program. In the menu today, President Muhammadu Buhari says NSAS protest against police brutality was aimed at removing him from office. Yes, you heard that. President Buhari said this today, that the reason why there was NSAS was to remove him from office. President Muhammadu Buhari reiterated his call to security agencies to shoot at sight anybody with AK-47 rifle or any other unapproved rifle. Wife of Kaduna State Governor Hajia Aisha El-Rufai says no ransom should be paid to her abductors if she's kidnapped. Yes, the wife of a sitting governor, of course, she's a lecturer at Obe's University in Abuja. Yesterday, she came out to say that if she's peradventure kidnapped, nobody should bother about her. Don't even bother to pay her ransom. Just leave her in the hands of kidnapper. If they cannot leave her without release her or free her without getting ransom, then she should be left to remain in their captive. What? Of course, you know that the husband, the governor of Kaduna State, has been in the forefront of saying that a ransom should not be paid to kidnappers for whatever reason. The wife has also come out to support the husband's position. Let's start off with our first story. President Muhammadu Buhari has claimed that last year's NSAS protest against police brutality was aimed at removing him from office. Buhari, who said this when he appeared on Arise TV on Thursday morning, said that those who participated in the protest have made Nigeria unattractive to investors. He also claimed that the protest has resulted in the dwindling inflow of foreign direct investment in the country. Well, I do not know how Nigerians will react to all of this. But some people will want to argue and say, does it mean Nigerians don't have a right to protest again? I mean, are there, what the president has, of course, maybe every week or every day or every month, I don't know, there's always security report before him. He has information that you and I do not have. So maybe he's talking based on some of this security information, the security report before him. We never can tell. But this is a point that the president has raised. I hope this, some people, maybe activists, or may want to say that this could dampen. This is aimed at dampening the morale of young people who may want to take to the street again to, call on government or those in authorities to sit up and do the right thing. I don't know, but I'm just thinking aloud, But this is the position of the Mr. President. So we'll be opening the phone line. Of course, our number 0810-9510-951, 081-700-00951. Good evening. This is the platform.
Hello, sir.
Good evening. This is the platform.
Yeah, my name is Daniel. I'm calling from Oji, Port Harcourt.
Daniel, let's have your view.
Yes, what President Buhari said is a lie from the pit of hell.
Are you? No, that's too. But I think that's too harsh. It is better for you to say what the president said is untrue than for you to say is a lie. Those are two. Maybe the same thing, but they don't carry the same weight too. For saying that the president is lying, someone can go to jail. I don't know, but if you say it's untrue, you may be forgiven.
Okay, I disagree with you. Hope this one is correct.
Well, I'm the one moderating. I'm telling you what you should say. In case you go out there and you say the president is lying, somebody can pick you up. This is not France where you slap a president and nothing happens to you.
Can I continue now?
Please continue, Daniel.
Okay. Now, where was the Mr. President when SARS was molesting the citizens of Nigeria? The thing is obvious. It was glaring. Okay. Let's assume that the protest was to remove him in office. I mean, is it not the right call? How much was a bag of rice when
No, I don't. If you want to remove a president, you go use the ballot. That's the way. It's not through protest. It's not. You don't remove a president through protest. You go through this is an elected government. So you go to the polls after 4 years to take out a sitting president.
Nobody wants to remove him now. I say assuming what he says. I will just give you an example.
Let me remind. Maybe there's something you probably may have forgot. You remember that even at the heat of the protest, the police hierarchy came out to say, okay, we have disbanded SAT, we've set up SWAT, we've done this. There are five. I think there was 5 points agenda that was even met by the police authority. And in the heat of that, in the midst of all of those decisions taken by the police hierarchy, protests still went on. So, looking at that, wouldn't you say that the president may have some points, maybe correct in his submission?
He had a point. Let me concur. He had a point. But I'm just telling you what transpired. How much is a bag of rice? How much is a bag of cement? How much is minimum wage? The whole thing is clearing. Rice was 8,000 when we came to power. Today, rice is 26,000.
I'm sure government is working on that. I'm sure they are working on it. Let's just be.
Let us know the what you're in radio. People are really suffering. So if
it's okay.
Push him out because of as a result of protest. I mean, it's the right direction.
All right. Thank you so much, Daniel. We've noted your point. Thank you. Hello. Good evening.
Yeah, Tashi, good evening.
Good evening. You're welcome. This is the platform 95.1 Today FM.
Yeah, this is Agara George from Bukuma and Club Island.
Agara George, you're welcome.
Yes, my brother, if the president has said the truth, I think that is the absolute truth of what really transpired by then. It was a calculated and articulated plan by some unscrupulous Nigerians who actually...
Unscrupulous? You mean those young men that took to the street are unscrupulous?
I am telling you,
with their co-travelers, their masterminders.
Were they wrong to have asked that what's it called, SARS be changed or be disbanded?
My brother, it went very far because when it all started, reasonable Nigerians, like the first set of people, physical stars who took to the streets, our brother here, Bonner Boy, and other people were among those who peacefully protested, and it was very attractive. You understand? We all love it as of then. But it goes along to the point where these unscrupulous persons step in and turn it to a violent one.
Do you still remember that incident? Are you sure that it was those young men that turned the protest into turned it into a violence, turned the scenario into violence? Because we all recall that protest was hijacked by some people.
See, I am telling you,
and I'm sure you remember also, if you go to social media, then some of those people who hijacked that protest were even being chauffeured by government plated cars. I mean, cars that has government number plates.
My brother, allow me, just give me time.
I've given you enough time. Now we have to allow other people to talk too.
Now let me tell you, it was the masterminders who caused these intruders, which is the violent ones.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It gets to a point where they begin to demand for so many other things outside the NSAS protest.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening, 95.1. Please go ahead. You're onto the platform.
I am Mascot.
Mascot, you're welcome. This is the platform today, 95.1.
I disagree with Mr. President.
Why?
Those people who did that,
you may need to turn down the volume of your radio. I'm getting a whole back here.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you. I can no longer hear you.
Hello? You are hearing me now?
Okay, a bit better. Fine. Go ahead.
I said those people who did that protest are very noble, influent, intelligent, professional, and capable Nigerians, young Nigerians.
How did you know all of this? How did you know they possess all of this? Are you the one that trained them?
Allow me to tell you. From the modus operandi of that protest, you will find out that those people, this thing is an organized system of protest.
But some people are saying that some people are saying that at a point they veered off. Do you agree?
It was just, remember, there was an allegation that some thugs came from Kaduna. Even they brought down the talent of my brother from the southeast in Abuja.
Okay.
It was at that point that these politicians hired the thugs, infiltrated into the ranks of these people.
All right.
That the thing turned violent.
All right, thank you.
The system of that process was not meant to be violent. It was meant to be connected.
All right,
to hold the police.
So that we can take more calls. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
95.1. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. This is the platform. Yes, you're welcome.
Yes, this is Gift calling from Yenegua.
Gift, you're welcome.
Yes, the only thing I will do is just an observation. Please, I will not contribute. This program for a very long time, we've been enjoying it. Don't try to be copying your callers. Please try and give them time. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you too. 95.1, good evening.
Yeah, Eze from Eche.
Eze, you're welcome.
Yes, I want to know what is Buhari doing in that Asorok? If he says, what is, in fact, Buhari ought to have been removed by now.
No, let's not derogate.
He's talking about NSAS protest.
Just a minute.
Was made
that the protest was addressing, that they wanted to remove him. What is he doing in Aso Rock? That's what I want to know. Do you notice? Is it not better we don't have a president?
No, I disagree with you. I disagree with you. I disagree with you. There's a need for us to have a leader.
Promoting nepotism. You want such a person to continue as a president?
Sorry, I may have to let you go. You are using some strong words here, please. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, please.
Yeah, my name is Honorable.
Yeah, Honorable.
Yeah, I don't know if any of us travel during the NCAS process. Because me, I didn't travel anywhere. That time, I was in Nigeria at that time. And up till now, I'm still in Nigeria. See, all of us know the pattern of the NCAS protest and how it goes. Does it mean now what Mr. President is telling us that those security agencies that are killing people, when make some people say no, stop killing people, they are killing it because of they want Mr. President to stay in power? Those killings that make Nigerians to say no, we don't like this thing, stop killing innocent people, stop behaving like those security agencies, are they killing people because of so that Mr. President will stay in power?
So you think that Mr. President is wrong in his submission?
Okay, because it is saying that the people are protesting, the people I want to remove him, but the people are protesting that time because of the injustice meted against the citizens by his security personnel.
You also know that sorry to cut you. You also know that Mr. President had some security report before him that he probably may have given rise to why he made the comments he made.
Yeah, you know the president's wife told us that at that time.
I think that I don't know if that position still stands. Yes, she made that comment, but then that was then.
So try to understand what I'm saying. See, if Mr. President are telling us that security agents that are killing people because of tax, they will stop you. They ask you to go and bring your pin, withdraw money from your account. They are doing it for him. Is he his own occupation? Is he the person that is sending them? They will see your hair. They will say you got tattoo. They see iPhone on your hand. They say you get iPhone. Then to them they have iPhone. Somebody's pack will lost. They will pick the pack and start tracking the phone. Tell you that they rob people to the place.
I know the deal. All right, thank you.
I will shake the table.
Thank you. Don't shake the table again, please. Thank you so much. Good evening. Our last call on this topic, so we can go to the next issue. Good evening, 95.1.
Yes, Kachi, good evening.
Good evening, you're welcome. Honorable, you're welcome.
Yes, I have always said, he who wants to do a thing will find a way. But he who do not want to do a thing will find an excuse. Check Buhari's track record. You will see excuse upon excuse. He has been saying Jonathan is his problem. Later he says PDP. Later he says IPOB. Now he is saying it is NSAS. Before the NSAS, was there any job in Nigeria? The investors ran away because of his bad policies. The man is clueless and incompetent. That's the truth about it. That's why he's manufacturing.
Let's be careful with our choice of words.
No. He's not being careful with us. So we cannot be careful with him. He's not being careful with us. People are dying every day. And he was giving excuses. Is it fair? Is it fair, my brother? People are dying every day all over Nigeria, violently.
But they are working on it now. The president has come out to say, in fact, in our next report, that's what we are treating in our next report. The president has come out to say, look, I've given you directive again. He's reiterating his directive to security agencies. That's our next story now. President Muhammad Buhari has reiterated his call to security agencies to shoot at sight anybody with AK-47 rifle or any other unapproved rifle. The president reiterated this while speaking at the handing over of security equipment purchased by the Lagos state government to the Nigerian police force in Lagos earlier today.
Let me also use this opportunity to reiterate that my directive to security agencies to shoot any person or persons found illegally with the AK-47s and other assault weapons remain in place. Commander-in-Chief My primary responsibility remains the security of the country and the safety of all citizens. Despite the many challenges we are facing, I want Nigerians to rest assured that we will secure this country. We will secure our infrastructure, our highways, our communities, and our forests, and we will secure the lives of our people.
Is this reassuring enough? I mean, considering the fact that we've had this kind of directive before. I mean, once upon a time, the president directed a former IG to relocate to Benue State or somewhere in the North Central State, and we, at that time, understood that that directive was not carried out. And this is about the third time the president is reiterating this directive. And has it been? Are they really carrying out this directive? He said that again today, just a few hours ago, while he was handing over some security equipment purchased by the Lagos State government to Nigerian Police Force in the city of Lagos. But the question is this directive enough, considering the fact that we have had this kind of directive without compliance in the past? Is it enough? Can this solve our problem? I mean, again, this is the directive coming from the commander-in-chief. Not just the president, the commander-in-chief. He commands the armed forces. Sit down, you sit down. Stand, you stand. Don't eat, you don't eat. Overeat, you overeat. Drink, don't drink. I mean, one should expect that the police should be up and doing. I mean, you don't expect the president. I mean, this is not charge where you expect the president to go and carry a rifle and stand before Boko Haram and begin to shoot them. He issues order. That's the work of the commander-in-chief. Should they now blame the president for because the directives are not being carried out, or we should blame those on the field? So our phone lines are open for you to have your contribution. Good evening, 95.1.
Hello, Yekashi, good evening.
Good evening, you're welcome.
Yes, I'm speaking.
You're welcome.
You see, for me, if I interpret what the president just said, it's the right one, but again, the implementation is where I'm getting it wrong. If it is the south east and the south south, it will shoot aside. If it's in the north and north central, they are my people. Ask yourself, since this directive was given.
No, this directive. Sorry. Let's not get it wrong. This directive was given.
It has been given now. It has been given for some months.
He reiterated this directive today, and
this directive has been given by the president.
Go ahead.
This directive has been given by Mr. President 1 or 2 months ago. I remember vividly.
That's why I use the word. I say he reiterated the directive today.
That is what I'm saying now. So how many people have been shot aside in the north central and the south northeast? So every day there is massacre that has been going on. How many people have been shot aside?
Do you have any record that people have not been shot aside?
No, if they have been shot aside, then the level of the incidence of insecurity would have been reduced. But we discover that people with some massacre and go, nobody thinks that they say that on top of the situation, they are investigating. See, I don't care. And besides, having a chief of staff, commander-in-chief and president, those things I don't like to, because the chief of staff now, where is going to be the president before they carry out operations. They're supposed to break that up so that the president will not focus on governance and the chief of staff should deal with military affairs. That is my take.
Thank you so much. Good evening, 95.1.
Yeah, Kaki.
You're welcome.
Yes. You let us look at the...
Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
This is George calling.
George, you're welcome. This is a platform.
Yes, my brother. You see, on this very topic, I think if you catch your memory, so before the 2019 election, the president saw some uproar ahead of the election, and he said that anyone, youth, who carry ballot votes to carry his own life at the spot. And that statement actually brought calm to that election. You see, those who tried it here in my place here in Akukutoro, they have to pay with their own life because that was the order of the Grand Commander. You see, whenever these are the languages that Nigerians would love to hear, Nigerians see.
So, but do you think? Sorry to caution. Do you think this is not the first time the president is saying? Remember that some times ago, the president issued a directive. Listen now, just hold on, just hold on. You just have to hold on. The president issued this directive to a former inspector general of police, and that directive was not carried out according to information. And then, do you think that this directive is enough? Is it by issuing directive?
Listen, see, in Nigeria, the security personnel, we are normally called happy trigger men. They love to just hit the trigger at any time, whether right or wrong. You understand? So that order of the IG going to Blessed State and all of that, and this order, these are two different things.
Okay, that's your opinion.
This order will be quickly obeyed and be carried out.
All right, thank you. All right, thank
you. Than the other one. So I think these are the language that
Nigerians
Nigeria
understand. All right. Thank you so much. Hello, good evening, 95.1.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, it's honorable. I called back. Just like the previous discussion, have you seen that what he's saying is I will, which means he is still thinking that he is campaigning. This is
why did he say I will? Did he say I will? He ordered security agencies to hello? He ordered policemen, army, soldiers, and the whole of the agencies involved in securing our nation to shoot at sight. Yes.
That one is there. He was saying, I listened to the interview, he was saying, I will protect Nigerians. I will secure the bushes.
It's reassuring us that his capacity and capability to protect the land, protect our
body. Like the previous 2 months and the other ones he has been saying, all those orders he has been giving. Are people not being kidnapped? Are people not being killed?
But is there a way that we can? For me, I don't know. I'm just thinking aloud. Isn't is it not minimizing? Are we expecting him to completely erase kidnapping or stop kidnapping, bandit activities, and all of these insecurity in the country just at once? I mean, I think it should be a gradual process.
You see, every day you promise your son, I will buy bicycle for you. Tomorrow you come back from work, you ask me, Daddy, what was the bicycle? You say I will buy tomorrow. You know that at the time, the guy will not take you serious again. Though he's a child, he will not take you serious again. But now, the president since 2015 has been promising Nigeria.
I think we lost that.
In Kebbi State, police itself said that they have recovered 88 bodies that have been killed by bandits, and they are still counting. And these bandits are still holding those children.
But security agencies are also recording successes in some areas. I mean, there are areas where you.
Dying.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. 95.1. Good evening.
Good evening, my brother in the studio. Emeka from Owerri.
Emeka, thank you so much for joining us.
You see, I don't know what on the president's comment of SARS or whatever it is that been given.
No, we'll pass that issue of SARS. We are looking at the president directive to security agencies to shoot aside. Yes.
Okay. If you pay me for anybody that has been in Nigeria since 2015 to really understand the direction of this government, honestly, if anybody, although we are just discussing on radio and the television and other things, otherwise, anybody that has eyes and understand psychology, this government is 2015, we know their direction. We don't need to even debate it. Telling us, talking on television or talking on the railway station or wherever he's speaking or from after all, people have known the direction of this government. I think what people are doing now, for this is tenure to elapse. You don't need to tell me, you should be okay for 7. When we see what is going on in Nigeria, we see everything that is going on. Look at the issue of killer headsmen. Can you point to any police station where a killer headsman was arrested? People that attacked a sitting governor.
But they've been arrested. The police said they've arrested those guys that attacked the Benue State governor.
Okay, that is what they will tell you now. They will tell you that now.
Is it that has it gotten to a point that will not believe police again?
My brother, you know what happened in NSAS now? The story they gave us up to today, nothing. They have not given us authentic true story of what happened in NSAS. People were shot and they deny it, even when the video is there. See, the Nigeria has gotten to a place, a situation where people don't even have any confidence in government. I must tell you the truth. Though we are dangling around it, we don't want to say the truth as it is. A caller called and asked you not to talk to, don't allow people to call people. He is correct, but I know you are protecting your studio because now they will charge you for 5 million naira or thereabouts. But you are being regulated. You don't even understand.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
The truth about it, anybody by now that does not the direction of this government is making a big mistake.
All right, thank you.
We know what we mean by that. You know what's happening over here. People are being killed on daily basis.
Thank you.
You understand?
Thank you.
Unnecessarily.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think it's time that we begin to tell ourselves, remind ourselves on the need for us to remain optimistic. No matter how bad it seems, no matter how bad it is, as a people, we need to remain optimistic. We need to continue to see the cup as half full and not half empty. Good evening, 95.1. Hello, good evening, 95.1.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, my name is Dondila Kimbaradikno.
Calling from?
Port Harcourt.
You're welcome. This is a platform 95.1.
Okay. Now, just look at the whole situation. How do we believe the president? When you look at, you see how Nigerian soldiers were killed like a fly. You blow your eyes, you start running tears. This Nigerian soldiers that will be ambushed, and information is given, and they will be killed like a fly. Just like that. The other day, children are killed, people are killed. The president is going to look his mama. Is that kind of president that will say something you believe?
No,
there is nothing that man will talk that you take with a pinch of salt.
No, but I think
if
to be fair to him,
you are on your own, or your
to be fair
look
to
at
him,
the country, everybody's carrying guns.
Just a minute. To be fair to him, also, I think that particular incident you mentioned, yes, he went to Katsina, but then his security chief were they dashed out to that place where the incident happened, and they were up and doing at that time.
Okay.
I'm sure they came back and gave him reports.
Okay, now look at the north now. The other day, children are kidnapped. Do you know what it means? Only one children self, you will not rest. But look at, they have been kidnapping children upon children. Children now fly is even better than children. They will kidnap them and kill them. Well, like that. They will be killing people every day as if Nigeria is now a slaughter ground.
It's unfortunate, though.
That's why I don't believe this kind of president.
Let's continue to remain. Let's continue to remain optimistic.
So that he will kill us all off. That is the truth.
Our land is green.
He's just planning to kill all of us.
All right, thank you.
So how do we believe him?
Thank you so much for your call. Thank you. Yes, we'll quickly go to our next story, which is, of course, I expect that this story should elicit some commendation and applause from our caller, which is the fact that the First Lady of Kaduna State, the wife of Governor El-Rufai, that is Hajia Ashia El-Rufai, says no ransom should be paid to her abductors if she's kidnapped. He said this while addressing participants at a peace and security meeting in Kaduna State yesterday. The governor's wife, who is also a lecturer at Bayes University in Abuja, says she's ready to die in the hands of kidnappers if that will bring peace to the country. She further argued that paying ransom to kidnappers is like giving them money to buy arms, ammunition, and drugs. Well, I don't know. I should think that our caller should applaud this woman for making this point. This is one of the kind of examples that we should present and project. What do you make of the position of the wife of the Kaduna State Governor, Hajia Ashia El-Rufai? Do you think her position, of course, you know that this is the position of her husband, and she has come out to support her husband's position. 95.1, good evening.
Yeah, you see, Aisha, this is Eze. Aisha Nasru El-Rufai's wife.
Yes.
She's just a hypocrite. You understand?
Our words are just too strong.
These are religious bigots.
I mean,
no,
now you don't use such strong word. Listen now, I mean, you don't. I mean, I expect that when you call you, you are airing your personal view, but then let's not derogate
the
people.
reason why they are saying all these things, is because the people they are kidnapping in Kaduna State are Christians. You know.
No, but they are kidnapping Muslims too.
99% of those that have been kidnapped in Kaduna State are Christians. That is why they are talking about.
Are you sure of your statistics? I'm not sure. I'm not sure your record is correct. I think you need to check back again.
And even they are kidnapping Muslims. You understand?
No, but that's not the point. What do you make of the point she has made?
That these are religious bigots.
The simple thing I just want to ask her, is she even feel like every other person in Kaduna State, or she being protected by those of armed men, police guarding her, or soldier guarding her? She moving freely as every other person. Let them just feel as every other person. Let's see, or let them kidnap our child.
Can I ask you a question, sir?
Okay, I'll ask you.
Yes, I suggest that you just take out the person and look at the issue she has raised.
No,
I mean, she's kicking against payment of ransom, and she's saying that paying ransom is like giving kidnappers money to buy arms, ammunition, and get drugs for themselves and get high, and then still remain in the business of kidnapping. That's the issue. What do you make of that? What the point she has raised?
Okay,
what about the woman herself?
Excuse me. What you have to do is to advise her husband to do the needful to protect the people that in that state.
Well, the husband is not just the governor, is not the chief security officer, is not the commander in chief.
But it's try to an oath to protect, isn't it?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And this way, no, excuse the governor to protect life and property.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Listen to you. So that we can take other problems.
Yes, and it's failed, and the woman is not talking what she's talking. Let her go feel as every other person in this day. Let's see what will happen to her.
Thank you so much, sir. 95.1, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this is Humble Servant, Honorable Chris Oakley. Let me talk about, can you please tell us how many security details that the wife of Erufai has? Can he be portable? Can the wife of Erufai go to market and like ordinary women say,
Can I ask you a question, sir? Can I ask you a question?
Ask me.
Are there people in this country with security details that have also been kidnapped?
Yes.
So
now the wife, what do they do when they kidnap them? They didn't pay.
No, she is saying that if they eventually kidnap her, in the event that she is kidnapped, nobody should pay ransom. What do you make of that comment coming from a woman?
Yeah, it's good. But what we are looking at now is the reality. If the wife of Erufai will announce the day she will step out, kidnappers.
Now, let me read for you. Let me read something.
Full truth. I am very far away from Port, but I think I'm still in touch with you people. Yes, belief system of our husband. My brother, what makes this kidnapping business a lucrative one is the ransom paying. It is the ransom paying. To make it less attractive, when you begin to decline from the ransom payment aspect of the business, and then you see that the business automatically becomes a bad market business. That is what the belief of the governor.
So your point now, you're in support of the position of the governor's wife. Are you in support of the position?
Automatically dive into that belief system. That is what you see.
Okay, sorry, Mr. George. Sorry, just hold on a minute. Are you in support of the governor's wife's position?
And it is the gospel truth. It is the gospel truth that we should begin to see how we step out of this ransom payment system of making the kidnapping business a lucrative one. It makes people dive into that business and by all means creating negative job for themselves, where they make other people become poor.
Thank you.
To make them rich overnight.
All right, thank
you. God bless.
God bless you too. 95.1, good evening. Good evening, 95.1. Okay, so we're looking at the issue. Of course, this is our last topic for this evening. We're just looking at the comment made by the Kaduna State Governor, Mrs. Ajia El-Rufai, who said that nobody should pay ransom for her if she is kidnapped in any parts of the country. 95.1. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, my brother.
Yes, good evening.
My name is Ebere. I'm calling from Obibo.
Yes, Ebere.
Yeah. See, what the wife of the governor is saying is totally wrong. She's just repeating what the husband said.
What makes this wrong?
Yes, because when you go to the school where their children are going, they have a strong security there. In their home where they are living, there are security. Then, like the other time, the 300 and something people they kidnapped, they said they killed 3 people. And what did the government do to that? The family of those 3 people that they killed out of those people, what will they do to them? So if their own child we are kidnapped, they will not pay anything. They will allow him to be killed. What will they? Which law have they put to them to the detail and say that in case if government did not refuse somebody that they kidnapped from social time, then that government involved should resign, or the security people that involved should be resigned. They will not put that once. They say they should not pay ransom. But their own where their children are, there are strong security. It cannot happen. It cannot. Right. I don't support it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I think that's about the size of our package this Thursday evening. I want to thank everyone who has find time to call into the program. Thank you so much for calling in. And it's also important for us to remind you that this program has been a production of our news department. And of course, do not forget that you should take responsibility. Wash your hands frequently with soap under running water. Avoid touching your face and high contact surfaces to prevent COVID-19. I'm Onyekachi. Remember, let's continue to see the cup as half full and not half empty. Optimism is the word. Join us again same time tomorrow. Bye for now.
This is the Vivian Douglas Show. It is an avenue for paradigm shift.
We bring you a platform where your voice counts on issues of social reform in our society, from governance to education,
domestic abuse, health, environment, relationship, religion, lifestyle, entertainment, and much more.
Most importantly, here on the Vivian Douglas Show, we speak to impact on all fronts. Join us on Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt every Thursday, 5 to 6 p.m.
on the Vivian Douglas Show to interact, and on the Just So You Know segment on Today 95.1 FM and on our social media platforms at the Vivian Douglas Show.
Let's keep it real and log down every Thursday. A warm evening to you all and welcome to the Vivian Douglas Show. And I'm here, of course, as Vivian Douglas to talk to you this beautiful evening. How have you been? What's been happening with your week? How are you managing with all the news, all the tiring news, overwhelming news, and what have you that has been flowing through the airwaves across the country, of course, across the world? From slapping the slap received by the French President Emmanuel Macron, and of course a whole lot that has been going on in the world today. How are you managing this? Well, the good news is that I'm going to try to make sure that your evening is going to be soft. It's going to be soft, not very hard. By that, I mean, we're not going to talk about IPOB. We're not going to talk about a lot of the issues a lot of the hardcore issues that gets you overwhelmed. But we're going to do something a bit different today, because I am a Christian, a lover of Jesus Christ, as a matter of fact. So when I see things that are untoward happening, and I have such a platform as the one that I've been given on Today FM, it is important for me to use it as a means to actually raise concern over some of these issues, particularly in this time is the one going on with the issue of the death of late Prophet TB Joshua, who died at 57 last Saturday, the 5th of May. And of course, the issues that has been raging, which at this point is becoming embarrassing. It's become a shameful thing to see what is going on in Christendom today. I say so because I'm a Christian, and of course I know the Bible. I know when similar issues was brought to Jesus Christ, our Savior and our Master, what he said about it. I know some of you listening may not be Christians. I understand that, but you're a Christian and you're reading these things, and then it's important for you to also be part of this conversation. And of course, if you're a Christian and you've been following this, you've been antagonizing or you've been supporting, let's have this conversation this evening. I'm going to start by throwing it open not for phone conversation, but for us to have, for me to give a different perspective, maybe the perspective that you have been looking at, but, or you have been reading about in social media since the death of Prophet TB Joshua. Now, I will call him Prophet TB Joshua because that's who he said he was. Jesus asked him to be on the earth, and that's who he lived as until he passed on. So let's have this conversation in the sense that if Jesus was here today, if he was on earth right now, what would he do? Now that we don't have him physically, while he was on earth, was there such an issue as the one we have today with the passing of Prophet TB Joshua that did happen in his time, and how did he handle it? What was his position? A lot of times we have confused the relationship with Jesus Christ as Christians and now focuses on religion, the activities around Christianity. That has become paramount to us more than what is going on, what this whole thing, what this whole Christianity, what this whole following of Jesus Christ thing should be, which is about having a personal relationship with Jesus Christ and not about playing religion. Because at the end of the day, when I pass on from this earth, at some time, hopefully at a good ripe age, if God permits that, I'm not going to be judged by how much church I went to, how much I paid in the church, how much I served in the church. I'm going to be judged by what the state of my relationship with Jesus Christ. So we have thrown all that away. We have thrown away relationship with Jesus Christ and working for the kingdom of God to be established on the earth. We have now gone, which is the primary prayer point, for the very first prayer point that Jesus Christ, taught his disciples, which is what we read today. We have thrown all that away. What we now do is to see which pastor is the most righteous, which church is the better church, which church is the largest church, which pastor preaches better message than the other pastor, which pastor is doing it right, is wearing more expensive clothes, which now shows that God is with that pastor, which pastor is driving own the best private jets or the best schools or the biggest auditorium to reflect, which then means that God is with that person. We have removed the relationship, the worship of God, the relationship with Christ should be about. We have not painted a picture to satisfy our flesh, and we project these things. We project hate, jealousy, anger, all kinds of acrimony in Christendom, and we have all watched this thing become something that should embarrass each and every one of us. I mean, you accuse a man of using a false power. You accuse a man who said that he was called into ministry to do a certain thing, which he kept doing, improved upon it until the day he passed on last Saturday. You accuse him of doing things the wrong way without even having any scriptural backup for the things that you have been accusing him of. You never caught TV Joshua with I don't want anyone to get me wrong, but this is something that's happening in Christendom. This is not a promotion of TV Joshua. At the end of the day, he has passed on anyway. So we need to, when I have this conversation with you, of course, I'm going to open the phone lines. Just bear with me. I'm going to open the phone lines so we can also get your take on this conversation. So I'm just bringing these things, but I'm going to use the scriptures in these conversations too. We have so removed ourselves from what we should be doing as a people, as Christians, as the light of the world, as the spice, the salt of the world. We have so removed ourselves from that. All we now do is wake up every day. We're looking at which church should be a better church. Why this person should be preferred over this pastor. Now let's talk about this quickly. Some of the issues I've read from past news printouts and all what have you. He was using juju power. He was not behaving like a Christian. He was not this. He was not that. I have a question for everyone, every pastor listening today that has been projecting this perception of across the board because you think TV Joshua is not called because he doesn't have a mentor. He started a lot of rumors that had no founding. We have heard all this, but I'm more interested in the reason why, quote and unquote, the Christian Association of Nigeria seemed to ostracize this man because they, according to them, for the things we have read over time, is that he does not have a mentor. Who was his mentor? And why would he, basically, he doesn't have anyone that taught him about Christianity. Bikono, I want to ask you a question. Who teaches you about Christianity? The pastor who preaches to you from the pulpit, who taught him about Christianity? You think because he listened to another man of God who may have laid hand on him? No, it is the Holy Spirit. How are we removing the role of Jesus Christ, the role of the Spirit of Jesus Christ from the church? And we have this conversation and we think this is okay. No, it is not okay. Trust me, it is not okay. You did not accept Christ because your pastor, your brother, your sister preached to you or had a Bible study with you. That is what happened in the physical. The conviction you had was because the Holy Spirit ministered to you. We did not read anywhere that Jesus Christ went to school. But we know it was through the help of the Holy Spirit that he was able to be smarter than his peers and did all the things we know he did as the Savior while he was even on earth, even before he died and was glorified. So what are we doing when we begin to ostracize people because we claim that they don't have a mentor? There is no physical man who taught them how to be a Christian or whom they learned from how to be a Christian. When did pastors or mentors in Christendom become the Holy Spirit? What are we doing to the body of Christ? I'm sorry, I hope anyone listening to me who is not a Christian, don't feel offended, but this is very important conversation. The majority of us here are Christians, and because we're Christians, are very religious people. We go to church, so we have a church. We say we believe in Jesus Christ, but it's time we begin to look ourselves in the mirror and begin to tell ourselves the truth. Because some of the things I've been reading following the passing on of this man of God is embarrassing and it is shameful, because even in the Bible there were instances like this and Jesus gave a very valid answer for each of these occasions. Now, how can we now come back and begin to, in 2021 or even before 2021, they can't ostracize this man? They refuse to make him a member of the Christian Association of Nigeria for reasons best known to them. But from what we've been reading around is that he had no mentor. He don't want no one. He didn't learn from anyone or something or no. And that's the reason why he was ostracized. This man passed on. Nobody cared to say, oh, this person has passed on. Appreciate the fact that he was a human being. He preached Jesus Christ. He did not preach any other spirit forces that anybody wants to, make issues about. He preached Jesus Christ. We watched him on TV. By the way, sitting down here, I am not a member of his church. I don't attend SCOAN, the Synagogue Church of All Nations. No, I don't. I don't literally agree. My belief system does not work with his system. I remember some time ago, a relative asked me, said we should go to synagogue, to get prayers like every other person. Honestly, I said I don't want to go. I don't really agree with his pattern, and that's okay. Maybe he is not, because he's not my pastor, because the Bible said that God will give us shepherds according that, is in accordance to our will or the way we are meant to be. I can't really get all that right, but I feel he is not my pastor. But should that now make me feel like, okay, God did not call him, he wasn't called? Who actually made you a spokesperson for Jesus Christ to say who he called and who he didn't call? When did we get it so wrong? When did it become so bad to the point where we are today that people now confidently shift Christ, even with an example given to us in the Bible, the same Bible you and I'm going to use that very soon, would practically shift Jesus Christ away, and then put ourselves or put our pastors, and then what they say becomes what is important and not what the word of God says. When did it get this bad? How are we going to give account of our stewardship if we have chosen to play God in the lives of other people? When did it get this bad? Someone remind me again, who was the mentor? Maybe you know about who was Elijah's mentor? Who was his mentor in the ministry? Someone needs to help me with that. Tell me where he came from, his village, and someone needs to help me with that so I can understand, when this whole mentorship become a reason to ostracize someone who publicly preached Jesus Christ. Now let's quickly go to check this out. We react to national issues. This is actually a national issue in a way because it's something that affects each and every one of us. But let me just take you to Mark chapter 9. And just read few verses from Mark chapter 9, because this is something that you have your Bible. You can also check that so that when I open the phone lines, I will begin to have the conversation. We can begin to answer some of these questions ourselves. Maybe there's something I missed in this whole thing because I'm feeling ashamed as a Christian. I'm feeling embarrassed that when Jesus Christ said, by these people will know that you are my disciples if you have love one for another. The love is a mark that should show that we are Christians. When you ostracize someone because you think he's a Christian, we have seen men of God go to visit people who are not Christians, encourage them, support them. We see even this year, we have seen these things happen all the time. So someone now who preaches Jesus Christ like you is being ostracized, even when this man lived his life, touched millions of lives, impacted. He wasn't perfect, of course. Neither is my pastor perfect, neither is your pastor perfect. So none of us is perfect. So we're not even talking about perfection. I'm sure he made his mistakes because we're all wearing flesh. At some point, we're going to make a mistake. Sitting down here today and other days, I may have made a mistake and I will continue to make a mistake. And the difference is that I will grow from it and I will learn from it. So why is it a problem that someone, an imperfect being like you, who preached Jesus Christ that you are preaching, you ostracize him while he was alive? Said all kinds of things were said to him. You basically abandoned him. Even though he was living the typical life that Jesus lived while he was on earth. Beyond preaching Jesus Christ, we saw the charity work. It's what people call it philanthropy. I don't even think that's philanthropy because Jesus wasn't a philanthropist. But he was someone who saw people who were going through things. He had pity on them and, went out of his way to see that they were taken care of, which is exactly what we see when you watch Emmanuel TV. Now, but like I said, let's look at Mark chapter 9 so that we can begin, this conversation can begin to make sense as it is. So I'm going to read, if you can, Mark chapter 9, verse 38 to 41. This is a case where someone was doing something differently from what the apostles were doing, but in the name of Jesus Christ. And they told the person to stop. When they came to Jesus Christ, he had an answer for them. So I'm going to read that quickly. So Mark chapter 9, verse 38 to 41. Jesus said to him, John said to him, "Teacher, we saw a man who does not follow along with us driving out demons in your name, and we forbade him to do it because he is not one of our band of your disciples." But Jesus said, "Do not restrain or hinder or forbid him, for no one who does a mighty work in my name will soon afterward be able to speak evil of me. For he who is not against us is for us." This is taking from Numbers, a reference from what was written in Numbers chapter 11, verse 27 to 29. 41, Jesus went on to say, "For I tell you truly, whoever gives you a cup of water to drink because you belong to and bear the name of Jesus Christ, bear the name of Christ, will by no means fail to get his reward." You feel TB Joshua was using juju. He wasn't using the power of God. You feel he should be ostracized because he doesn't have a mentor. This is an individual who heard about Jesus Christ, obviously believed, convicted by the Holy Spirit, picked up and was using the name of Christ to minister, to cast out demons. They reported him to Jesus Christ, and Jesus said to them, let him continue with what he's doing. That the time is coming when he will, everything will fall into place, because if you don't believe in me, you would not use my name. That if you're with me, you cannot be using, if you're against me, rather, you cannot be using my name. This is written in the Bible. TB Joshua was doing something differently. He wasn't amongst the mentored ministers of the gospel. Not by mentored, I mean those who were mentored by a superior minister of God, of the gospel, that is known or not known, but nobody knows who was TB Joshua's mentor. So it was assumed that he cannot be one of us because, he's not in the band. He's not in amongst the disciples. He's not seen doing the same things that people were doing. So let's ostracize him. A report was brought to, so the man had the same experience. A report was brought to Jesus Christ, and he said, no, let him continue with what he's doing. He who is against me cannot use my name. If someone can cast out demons with my name, he's not going to speak evil of me. So let him continue with what he's doing. Now, we sit back here today. We watch a man grow from obscurity, from a very poor state, grew into, where he became a household name, where people believed in his ministry, people were going through things, the sick, the poor. We saw the lives being changed through this man's ministry. And yet we feel that, no, it cannot be Jesus Christ. Tell me again, what was it that Jesus Christ that made people follow Jesus Christ wherever he was going to? I know someone will be saying he can also be using, he can have a juju name and they can have agreement. But the question is, can a house divided amongst itself stand? You remember in Matthew chapter 12, when Jesus was being accused of using the power of Beelzebub to cast out demons. Why? Jesus Christ cured a man who was blind and dumb. And then this man received his sight and began to speak. And then so all of a sudden they're like, the crowd was wondering, how can this wonderful thing had happened? And then the Pharisees, the leaders were like, is this not the son of David? Because to them, how can the son of David, this is Matthew chapter 12, verse 23, like, is that this cannot be the son of David, can it? Because to them, he is too poor. Jesus was too poor. He is too not, what they expected him to be. He's too not like us, polished, well-deserving. He doesn't speak all the good English. He doesn't do, they were looking down on him because they never expected such power to come from the son of David. So they're like, this cannot be the son of David now. I'm taking all this from Matthew chapter 12. This is verse 23, after he cured the blind man, and then they're like, The crowd was stunned and bewildered, and they were like, this cannot be the son of David. Now, can it? No, it's not possible. How can this man, when knows I be speak English, when know they dress well, when no get money, when no get anything, now you can't get all this power. This is exactly how the Christians, how they are looking at TB Joshua, because they felt he was too poor. He was always wearing white garments. He had long beard. Oh, he cannot be this person now. Oh, maybe he was a Muslim or whatever they want to claim he was. No, now, how can this person say he's a Christian? Is there any physical thing that this man would have done to show that, okay, has he ever come out to say Jesus Christ is not Lord? Has he ever come out to say, no, Jesus Christ is not the savior of the world? Has he said anything that would make you feel, okay, this man is not preaching Christ, he's antichrist or what have you? What would lead to such hate? What would make them feel, if not for the fact that they've looked at him to say, he no rich. Now, it can't be this man. Now, this man that we know that came from Toso place. We that speak better English, we don't even have that power. We that look better than him, we that are exposed, we don't even have that power. Just like the leaders of Israel when Jesus was physically on the earth here. So they pushed and pushed and pushed. This is exactly what they were doing to TB Joshua. And at the end of the day, everybody was looking on. Some members, their members were praising them, applauding them, and believing that this man was using the power of juju. Pico, where is the juju? Did you see it? I mean, you can share with me if you have some of these. I'm going to open the phone lines just very soon so that you can be part of the conversation. I'm just trying to lay a background to this so that when we're having this conversation, we can now begin to ask ourselves some of these questions. A lot of you listening to me, you go to church, you follow this conversation, you know how these things happen. How did it get to the point where we have now become a people who now determine who was called by God and who was not called by God? This conversation has been raging on and on and on and on and on. It wasn't about the life he lived, how he impacted life, how he preached Jesus Christ. Like most pastors stand on the pulpit every Sunday to preach, to get salvation of souls. It wasn't about the millions who believed in Jesus Christ due to his help by charity or by delivering them from the bondage. And it wasn't about that. It was about how he was not a man of God to be trusted. So even after all that, this man died, we're still trying to make sure that we bury whatever. Come on. Anyway, let me quickly do this. I can open the phone lines now. So they went on to say, it can't be now. It cannot be. He's not the son of the carpenter's son. Now him, now, no, now. How can he have such power? They never believed that someone in his position could be, given such power. So they went on to have a conversation, and now Jesus, knowing what was in their thoughts, he said to them, any kingdom that rises, that is divided against itself, is being brought to dissolution and laid waste, and no city or house divided against itself will last or continue to stand. And if Satan drives out Satan, he has become divided against himself and disunited and disunified. How then will his kingdom last? That's verse 26. A lot went on the debate. I just want to take two more verses and then so I can open the phone lines. And then he said, or how can a person go into a strong man's house and carry off his goods, the entire equipment of his house, without first binding the strong man? Then indeed he may plunder his house. If we're saying TB Joshua was not called by God, that he's not a child of God, and because we feel that he wasn't ministering the way we wanted him to minister, or the way that he's meant to be ministered, the way we feel our pastors are ministering, because we have joined in this charade, sharing these things, saying things that we don't even know anything about, we did not call this man. It means that, so TB Joshua had the power to come into the fold of Jesus Christ with the name of Jesus Christ, bind Christ, and with his demon power, and make people believe in Jesus. You think I'm now, how plausible is that? You reason this thing. How plausible is that? What are we doing to ourselves as believers, as Christians? If Jesus should come today, what story are we going to say? Where is our faith? Where is our hope? Where are we as a people? It's become embarrassing, and this is why I want us to have this conversation. Verse 30, he said, he who is not with me, definitely, who is not on my side, is against me. And he who does not definitely gather with me, and for my side, scatters. Jesus made this very clear. He made his position very clear on issues like this. But we leave the scriptures, we leave the Bible, we leave what Jesus himself said about a similar situation in the Bible. We believe what humans like us are saying to us. Because, they are our pastors, they are spiritually stronger than us. Does that mean that we don't have the brain to read the Bibles? How can people be lying to you? Look at what Femi Aribeshola is doing on social media. Who made Femi Aribeshola and of course Chris Okotie, this man of Jesus Christ, to say to the world to mess up the work another human being did for Jesus Christ? Because when you raise questions, you're basically trying to tell people that this man was not. So it means that when Jesus, when he wants to pick someone, he needs to come and ask you people for permission to raise any soul he wants to raise for his ministry, for the kingdom of God. He needs to come and meet you and say, Reverend Chris Okotie, I want to anoint Vivian Ngozikao. I want to anoint Okoritel. I want to anoint Mina. I want to anoint maybe Sole. So maybe I should I need your permission to anoint them to come and become my disciples or become a ministers for me on the earth. You reason, and now how can we get to that point as a people, and we are doing these things and we are becoming embarrassing to the name of Jesus through God himself? Because where is the love? If all this hate is being piled upon this man, even after he has passed on, where is the love? What about the souls that he delivered from the bondage of darkness? like I said, he wasn't perfect. I don't even think he has ever come out to say he was perfect. But this man was an epitome of love. He never replied any of you. He never was angry or fought back or said anything, but he stayed focused on what he had to do for the kingdom of God. He grew. Yes, he was a white garment wearing man, maybe from where he received Christ and what his knowledge at the point. Come on, growth is only normal. Change is the only constant. We know that. So why you see a problem that he was at some point in his ministry and that he has grown? Tell me a minister of the gospel in this Nigeria that is as humble as TB Joshua, with all the wealth he had, with all the influence he controlled. Tell me one man of God you know that is as humble as that man. Come on, guys. What exactly was Jesus about again? If not for love, if not for his humility. The Bible said, and he looked at them, the crowd, and he had pity on them. If we have removed love and the authority and position of Christ and his spirit, the Holy Spirit, from it as an influence over our life, that means we are at a crossroad in our faith, and that we need to begin to have this conversation. But I know it's time. Let me open the phone line so that you can be part of the conversation. What is it that is the mark of the hallmark of Christianity? What is it that is hallmark of Christianity? Is it authoritarian? Who is the authority? Is it mentorship? Who exactly mentors people? What is your take on the TB Joshua saga that is going on for so long and then is getting out of hand? So I just want us to have this conversation today so that you and I can reason together. Sorry, I had to take that time to lay all this out there so that as we're having the conversation, we can make sense of all that is going on. So 0817 0000951 or 0818-9510951. Feel free to call to be part of the conversation. I can now take those calls as they come in. So when we say we are Christians, what exactly should be hallmark of Christianity? Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Emma. I'm calling you from Aba.
Emma, good to have you here. So quickly, let's hear you.
Okay, all these things is all about spiritual things.
Okay.
And anybody that's a mature believer should not criticize or say things he doesn't understand.
Okay.
Even you yourself that you talk and you are not sure of what you are saying because it's a spiritual thing. Jesus Christ himself said that so many people will cast out demons in my name and do a lot of things in my name. But yes, they are not from me.
But that's Jesus. That's what Jesus said himself.
Yes. So the point I'm raising is we don't have the right to judge anybody. You cannot come out now and swear that TB Joshua met it. You can't say
it's not in my position.
So nobody have the power to criticize. So when something like this happens, people should just give God thanks and move on with their life.
Thank you. So, I totally agree with you. Thank you. I totally agree with you. Okay, thank you. All right, stay with us. I'll be just back. Let me take this commercial break, and of course, I'll get back to you shortly. Don't go anywhere. The Vivian Douglas Show returns shortly.
God offers hope. Port Harcourt City, get ready. The mandate to reign is re-echoed. Heaven has spoken and the earth has heard. Sound the alarm. It's one word speakable, miracles and inspiring music and the prophetic. The venue for this program is the prestigious Renaissance Assembly Auditorium, Plot 5, Sania Bacha Road, beside the Sania Bacha Police Station, GRA Phase 3, Port Harcourt. And the date is Sunday 13th June 2021 and the time 9 a.m. prompt. Come with friends and loved ones. Come with the sick and the oppressed. One word from God will change your life forever. This event is powered by Renaissance Assembly.
All right, good to have you back. It's still on the Vivian Douglas Show, and the conversation today is primarily on issues surrounding TB Joshua, and of course, issues surrounding his ministry and his life while he was on earth. The interesting thing about this is that a lot of times we feel like we know better. No, we don't know better. I like what the last caller said. I don't know, you don't know. But one fact is that it's in the place of Jesus Christ. We should thank God for the life and, of course, focus on that. Let me get to hear what you think about this situation. The phone lines are still open. Like I said, 0817000951 or 0810951091. Hello. Okay. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Shimi. I'm actually calling from Traffic Jam, but listening to your program.
All right, thank you.
I just actually call to compliment you, actually, your stand on this.
Thank you.
I don't want to say much. I don't want to digress or bring any contribution because you said it all.
Okay.
Concerning what the issue on ground, where you stand is where I'm standing. And I actually I just want to use this. I'm not a member of the church, but to say God bless you for bringing this understanding to what people have to reason concerning his life. Thank you.
Thank you, Chima. God bless you too.
Bless.
And like I said, I keep saying the interesting thing about this kind of conversation is that it's open. Let's get to have your opinion on the ongoing issue raging about TB Joshua, his death, his ministry, and all. Hello.
Hello.
It's good to have you on the Vivian Douglas Show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is James, calling from Allo.
James, good to have you. So what's your take on the conversation?
Yes.
All right, we lost that conversation there. The phone lines are still open. Let's hear your take. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. Welcome to the Vivian Douglas Show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, this is Deacon Fred calling from Oyibo.
Deacon Fred, good to have you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. You see, this issue of TB Joshua, many people may be thinking because he's doing miracle, this and that. You see, Jesus can let us know. He said, many will come in my name to do what? Signs and wonder and everything. But what did he say in Matthew chapter 7, verse 21 down?
He will.
Matthew chapter 21 down, 7:21. He said, not everyone who said to me, Father, Father, will enter the kingdom of heaven. But he who does the will of my Father in heaven. 22. He said, many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, are we not prophesied in your name? Your name cast out demons.
Okay.
In
Deacon,
your name.
yeah, Deacon.
And do many wonders
Yes.
in your name.
Deacon.
And the Lord said,
yeah.
And then I will declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me.
I agree.
Of iniquity.
I agree. So a quick question to you, Deacon. See, it's good that you're a deacon. So let me ask you this question. You said two things. Jesus said he himself will tell them, you are workers of iniquity. Depart, I don't know you. Did he say you, a deacon or any pastor, any human on earth will do that for him?
Do miracle or do what? Come in.
I said Jesus himself said that he will say to these people who said that they did miracles in his name on the last day, thank you, that they should depart from him, that they are workers of iniquity, that he know them not. Right?
Yes.
Did he say that any pastor or any Christian should do that for him?
No, you are not going to do judge
Thank
them
you.
for God.
Now the second thing is
day.
this. Sorry. The second question I have for you, sir. He now said in that same scripture you quoted right now, Jesus now said that those who did the will of his Father.
Yes.
What is the will of his Father for us as we on earth? Now, if you can tell us that quickly.
The will of the Father is said to hear the conclusion of the whole matter, fear God and keep his commandment.
Okay, what is that commandment that Jesus asked us to keep just before he departed the earth in Matthew 28?
Yeah, he said the word that I spoke to you will judge everybody at the last day. The word of God.
In Matthew 28, he said, this is my commandment. Keep it. Actually using their means, what they generated in the name of the gospel to also help the poor, like Jesus did when he fed over 400,000 people. He had something that was within reach to him, which his disciples brought to him, the fish and the bread. He converted it miraculously, and it became plenty that they even eat and had some take back, that they now had to preserve for another time. When we talk about the will of God, this is some of the conversation we need. So I'm enjoying this conversation that when people are calling in, they are bringing us some of these things that I may not have even covered. So the phone lines are still open. Let's keep having this conversation. Hello? Yes, good to have you on the Vivian Douglas Show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, my name is Abraham, calling from Port Harcourt.
Good to have you here, Mr. Abraham. So what's your take?
Well, this issue on grant, I would like to say that nobody should judge anybody.
Okay.
The Lord says that.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Abraham. We lost that call there, but the lines are still open. Feel free to call. Let's keep having this conversation. Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, good to have you on the Vivian Douglas Show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Okechukwu by the name.
Okechukwu, where are you calling from? Good to have you here.
I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, thank you very much. So what's your stake? What's your take, rather?
Actually, I just want to go straight to the point.
Okay. That's good.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Professor. The phone lines are still open. Let's keep having this conversation. Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. Good to have you on the Vivian Douglas Show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
All right, this is Brochima calling from Port Harcourt.
Brochima.
Yes.
All right, Brochima. What's your take?
Please, I want to say something. You know, in this Nigeria, we are too fast in judging somebody. Too fast in judging. I am not surprised because even in the Bible it has been in the book of John, I think chapter 8, the Bible said that they brought a woman that was caught in adultery, and when they brought her, and they told Jesus, said, Master, look at this woman. She committed adultery. And Bible said that Jesus was busy writing on the ground. And Jesus asked them, and he said, if you know that you have not committed this kind of thing before, be the first to cast the stone.
Yeah.
All of them, Bible said, before Jesus could stood up, all of them disappeared. And Jesus told the woman and said, I did not condemn you, I did not judge you, but go and sin no more.
Yeah.
All of us that is condemning, all of us who are condemning the man now, we are all full of sin. We are all full of adultery. Nobody is perfect. So why are we condemning him? Even if he's not perfect, it's left for him and God.
Exactly.
So nobody should stop condemning him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. You know, that's the thing. God did not say you're my spokesperson. You're the one. This is who I choose. Or Jesus didn't seek permission from any of you to call anyone. If tomorrow I come into the fullness of Christ and begin to operate in the path, after Jesus said that greater works than he did that we'll do. So if I begin to manifest and perform those miracles and I don't have any mentor that you can relate to, you'll not be like, oh, Jesus didn't call him. Let's cast her away. She's not one of us. Honestly, we need to begin to ask ourselves questions as Christians in our conversations, in our teachings. What is important? Is it about who dresses well, who drives the best car, who wears the best suit, who speaks the better English? Or is this about winning souls for Christ? What is more important, or what should be more important? Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good to have you. We're having a conversation about TB Joshua and the character assassination has followed him before his death and of course after his death. What's your take on that, sir? What's your name and where you're calling from, please?
Okay, my name is Mr. Peace. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, good to have you, Mr. Peace.
Yes. Maybe if what is his name? Okochie, you have to be Jesus. He would have raised the sword and slaughtered that woman.
That was brought, yeah.
he would have slaughtered her because there was no need Jesus even allowed that woman to follow him. People should leave Jesus to do his work. Jesus said, I call you. I call you. I have sent you for a work. What is their problem? Jesus can convert anybody. He converted the murderer Saul. He used Saul to raise the dead. He used Saul to heal people. He converted one of the worst human beings on earth. People don't learn. All they want to is if they see you, you wear suit and palm your hair. You are a righteous man. What went wrong with TB Joshua? What is wrong with his ministry? Even if TB Joshua chose to be wearing white in his church, is that what qualifies the man to heaven? If you don't wear white in the church, that means that you are going to heaven. White is a dress code. If I have watched TB Joshua, followed his ministry, I'm not a member of his ministry. If I followed him, TB Joshua is one of the loving ministers Nigeria ever produced. I can't even boast of any.
I agree with you. Totally.
I can't boast of any. TB Joshua, now that he's dead, as time goes on, people will begin to see the effect of TB Joshua in Nigeria among the poor. Some of these people that are criticizing the owe billion, they cannot give anybody 1,000 naira.
God bless you, sir.
They cannot give anybody 1 bag of rice. The Jesus, they feed the poor, not the naked. Feed the prisoners. Most of them are there criticizing TB Joshua. What is their work of charity? As Sokoti, his work of charity, I've never seen any.
My brother,
drama.
Let Jesus ask him.
Speaking everything. What is Koti's work of charity as long as the ministry is concerned? He's criticizing TB Joshua. On that day, Jesus, see, there are people you never expected to see in the kingdom of God. That day you will. And many people you thought on earth are the holy of holies. When you get there, you will not see them there.
Yeah.
So let them begin to amend their ways. Leave TB Joshua. Nobody knows it. Before he died, he said that he doesn't have. He knew. He saw that he is dying.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. No verse, I beg. Thank you for being part of the conversation. It's what it is. If Jesus should come now, if the rapture should come now, how rapturable are you? These are some of the conversation we should be having. It's not how a human being that you didn't create, you didn't call, you didn't give anything, how he became a powerful man of God that was there for those who actually needed him. Hello, welcome to the Vivian Douglas Show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening, Vivian Douglas.
Good evening.
Well.
Thank you. What's your name, please?
This is Gift calling from Yenagoa.
Oh, Gift, good to have you here. So what's your take?
My take on this matter, let me tell you straight to the point. It's a shame. It's a shame to the body of Christ.
I agree.
The people that are claiming I'm a great man of God or I'm a small man of God. I went through some certain things. I saw what Richard Jaffo, Word of Life, and Christo Koti. I don't know if you've gone through those
yes, I did.
Write-ups.
I did.
Then to the extent you are even asking questions, who even converted him to Christ.
Imagine that.
Imagine, I know what I'm saying. I remember when my own pastor, Pastor Chris Ayotolomi, went to visit TB